It's on the red button on Sky Plus, Freeview or Virgin Media, and by using the audio selection option on Sky Q or a TiVo box. And if you have any problems, then get in touch with our viewers hotline. And fyw ni te at y criw yn sgorio ar gyfer y dre newydd yn erbyn Pen-y-bont.
Mae'r dre newydd a'r hydiad digiro o 4 gêm ar ddiwedd y tymor, a sioe 5 seren gafwyd y tro olaf ar Barc Latham a crasfa i cofis Caernarfon.
George Hughes! A mae'n dair i ddim! Give me the gic. Ac yn canfod cornel i Sarhwy. A pas lac yn ôl. Yna gyfle arall i'r dre newydd. A Robles sydd yno.
Eiliad bach o ddiwyniaeth gan Foes y Bont oedd angen i gipio triphwynt yn rownd ola'r gyngrair a chipio'r seithfed safle o ddwylo Hwlffordd.
Pen-y-bont sy'n cipio'r seithfed safle a Pen-y-bont fydd yn chwarae yng Ngema ail gyfle Ewrop.
Un tocyn yn unig sydd ar ôl i fynd i Ewrop ac heddiw bydd y dre newydd a Pen-y-bont yn gobeithio cymryd cam yn nes at y wobr enfawr yna o gynrychioli Cymru yn Ewrop tymor nesaf. Ie, croeso cynnes ato ni. Mae yna wledd o chwaraeon i ddod ar Esbrorec Prynhawn yma, a mae'r cyfan yn dechrau fan hyn ar Barc Latham. Siôn Meredydd yn cadw cwmni i ni heddiw yma, a Siôn yn syml iawn, mae'r wobr yn enfawr. Lle yn y rownd derfynol i gyrraedd Ewrop. Be ti'n credu allwn ni ddisgwyl gan y ddau dîm yma heddi?
Wel, mae'n hynod boeth yma. Mae'n rhad am henoli ar dan, i fod yn onest, yn y hael. Ond felly, mae hwnna'n ffactor, oherwydd bod dim dŵr ar y maes. Mae fe'n mynd i sloio'r gêm lawr i ryw raddau. Felly, so'n siŵr pwy dîm bydd hwnna'n ffafrio naill yn llall. Ond yn sicr fydd y ddoi dîm, bydden nhw moyn bennu'r job mewn 90 munud, yn wedig y dre newydd. Dyn nhw ddim eisiau mynd nôl i'r hynlle yna o gigiau'r smotyn yn erbyn y Hwlffordd y llynau.
Ie, mae hwnna'n bwynt da iawn. Fi gobeithio bod yn Eli Hael ymlaen gyda ti. Gyda llaw, Siôn. Reit, dyma yw ail gêm y penwythnos. Mi oedd yna gêm arall nithwr ar yr ofal gyda Caernarfon yn middi Met Caerdydd. O ddwy gol i ddim yn y diwedd, ond Siôn, oedd hi ddim yn glasur 2 gêm hwyr iawn i Caernarfon.
Ie, fi'n offi'r gol yma gyda Mark Williams. Just yn gwybod lle mae'r bel yn mynd i gwmpo a mae'n neud y gol i edrych yn hawdd iawn, a wedyn hon yn y funud diwetha bron yn selio'r fuddugoliaeth i Caernarfon. Met Caerdydd wrth gwrs, fydde ddim trip i Ewrop ydyn nhw y tymor hyn, ond sicr Caernarfon nawr yn edrych mlaen i pwy bydden nhw'n chwarae wythnos nesa.
Ie, tybed os tawr dre newydd neu Pen-y-bont fydd yn wynebu'r cofis penwythnos nesaf. Yn ôl at gêm heddi, rhywun sydd wedi bod yn allweddol i'r dre newydd eleni yw i prif sgoriwr nhw, Aaron Williams, ond mae yna fwy i'r gŵr na'r goliau yn unig.
Welcome to Madeley Academy. I'm Aaron Williams, Assistant Pastoral Manager here at Madeley Academy, where I help with behaviour management, mental health and emotional well-being. Deal with a lot of lads, a lot of boys especially, behaviour issues, mental health, emotions. So I like to go for a walk with them in school, try and get them back to lesson, talk them back into lesson. But if not, they come to the office and we have a good conversation, mainly about football 9 times out of 10. Nowadays, there's a lot more speak about mental health and emotion. When we were at school, it was you're either crazy or you're not. And that's the way kids dealt with it, where kids, when I was at school, didn't want to open up, didn't want to speak. I can't remember us having a person to go to at our school when I was growing up. But that's our job, get involved in their lives, find out what's going on, because that 1 minute conversation you might have might help them for the next 10 days, 2 weeks, a month. And that's what it is, and that's the most enjoyable part. A lot of kids, especially from year 7s, so what's age 12 to 14s, they live on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and that's all you see in the restaurant area. You can see probably 20 tables, all heads down facing the phone. And they're probably all looking at the same video, because that's the way they communicate nowadays. But that's the main issue, is the social media comments, because that's where they're getting upset, and that's where a lot of friendships are broken, due to social media.
See how we got. Top goal scorer? Second. Yeah.
Where'd you play?
Striker.
You play striker?
Yeah, mate, come on. Yeah, down in that. Have you seen his football skills yet?
No, I haven't. He's too scared to come outside.
Have you seen his stats? What's
Get
it?
smashed in 5-a-side.
From the age of 4, I was kicking a ball. That's what everyone keeps telling me. Straight away, I was kicking a ball, and my dad started a Sunday league team. My first game, I got picked up by Birmingham. So I went to Birmingham, went on trial there. From the age of 7 to first year pro, I was at Warsaw. Loved it there. From Warsaw, I was just in and out of non-league. I think I finally found my feet where I've spent the most time, which is Newtown. I think this is the longest where I've spent one period of time playing football for someone and still enjoying it. So it's a place where I felt like home and where I really enjoy my football.
O Williams, lle yn y cwrcosbi, volley hyfryd yn dyblu mantais y Robiniad.
Looking back at last season's playoffs, going into it where we lost the 10 games in the split, and then going to Bala as a draw the line in the sand. We beat Bala the first time in 8 seasons there, placed 4-2, and it gave us some momentum going into the final. But for some reason, it just never clicked. So when it came down to the penalties, the keeper definitely did his homework with a couple of lads, myself included. Went down the middle 3 times that season, and he stood still and saved it because he went down the middle. So fingers crossed we can overstep that hurdle this time and complete what we want to achieve. When I first signed for Newtown, I think we went to Ireland for Dundalk. It was the first European game, and I've been lucky enough to go to Faroe Islands, Slovakia and play games. And that's what you want to do as a footballer. You want to travel. You want to play in the big stadiums, the great atmospheres, and I don't think the atmosphere at Slovakia will ever be beaten. I've played at Wembley, and the Slovakia atmosphere is 10 times better, and it was a smaller stadium. I don't know if that's the reason why, but when you've got 30,000 fans doing the thunderclap, it really gives you a chill down the spine, and fingers crossed we can perform the next 2 games, get over the line, open that penalty shootout and achieve another European tour.
Mae Aaron Williams wedi swapio'r siwt ar gyfer y kit pêl-drod prynhawn me, a Siôn, nithwr ar yr ofal oedd Chris Hughes cyn reolwr y dre newydd yn rhan o dîm sgorio. Nath Chris Hughes wneud bwynt ddiddorol iawn yn gweud bod canlyniad y gêm heddi yn mynd i ddibynnu ar y ddau ymysodwr. Aaron Williams i'r dre newydd a Chris Venables i Pen-y-bont. Ti'n cytuno?
Ydw i ryw raddau, achos mae Chris yn nabod Aaron yn dda iawn. Chris wrth gwrs wedi cael 10 mlynedd llwyddiannus yn y clwb fan hyn. Fel y ti'n sôn, Chris Venables, so talisman Pen-y-bont, so bydden nhw'n edrych ar profiad fe i gael nhw trwyddo heddi. Ond i fi, Cain Owen, mae popeth sydd yn dda o Pen-y-bont yn dod trwyddo fe. Ti'n cofio Gary Lloyd oedd yn chwarae? Ti'n rhifang, ti'n cofio Gary Lloyd oedd yn chwarae i Bari a Llanelli. Popeth yn dod trwyddo fe o'r cefn o'r chwith, a dyna'n union beth mae Cain Owen yn rhoi'r tîm.
Mae fe hefyd werth atgoffa, Siôn, o ble nath y tîm yma orffen yn y tabl. Y dre newydd yn bedwyrydd, Pen-y-bont yn seithfed, ac yn hanesyddol, Siôn, pwy bynnag sy'n gorffen yn bedwyrydd yn seithfed, nhw sy'n cael y fwyaf o lwyddiant yn y gêm ail gyfle. Pam i ti'n credu hynny?
Ie, pa gwein nath y Caernarfon, wrth gwrs.
Sori, Caernarfon.
Ie, sa'n gwybod, yr ateb sy'n meddwl, sa'n gwybod, falle, os ti'n benni seithfed, last chance saloon yw ti di cyrraedd y gêm ail gyfle, wel, os ti'n pwysydd arno ti falle, wedyn, os ti'n benni'n bedwyrydd, wedyn, falle bod y tabl yn profi bod saf yn y chwarae yn ystod y tymor well. Dwi ddim yn siŵr. Ond i fi, mae'n 2 gêm gwpan i gyrraedd Ewrop.
O'n i wedi clywed gan y dre newydd beth am ni glywed gan Pen-y-bont, mae Rhys Griffiths wedi bod yn siarad gyda Nicky John.
Well, it's 4th v 7th today, but there won't be much between both teams in terms of margins separating both sides. How significant do you think that run that you had towards the second half of the season will be going into today's playoff?
I think it's hard to say. I think obviously we've gained confidence from it. We've gained some stability in terms of the way we're playing. But whether it has the ultimate factor, I don't know. I think the biggest factor and the reason why perhaps the 7th team have done well in recent years is the jeopardy. I think the jeopardy felt by Newtown today is huge because by rights they should be getting into Europe this year. And if they don't, it'll be seen as a failure. And that's not... That is what it is. If we were to say, it would be the same for any team that finishes 4th. Whereas for us now, it's a bit of in through the back door, and there's no pressure really.
Do you think the fact that there's been 3 weeks now since the end of the season will hold any bearing on today at all?
Well, yeah, I think it does. They played a friendly, and Mills Evans has broken his leg. So if we hadn't had 3 weeks off, they wouldn't have had that friendly. Are we undercooked because we didn't have a friendly? It's really hard to say. Why we had 3 weeks off, I don't know, but we had a couple of injuries leading into the Haverford West game and they're now back. So I was quietly content with the little break. So I think it will have a factor, but what factor remains to be seen. Maybe Mills Evans' replacement as a stormer today, I don't know.
Obviously, you guys had a taste of Europe last season. How much motivation does that give you this afternoon to experience that again?
Yeah, it does massively. It was an amazing trip. Obviously, as a player, I experienced it many times. But when you're manager, you look back, you sit back, and you see your fans enjoying it, your players with massive grins on their faces, and I want them to experience that again. I really can't put into words how great it would be just for the club to be there again and to experience it again.
Rhys, pob lwc pnawn 'ma. Diolch.
Thanks a lot.
Rhys Griffiths yn barod amdani, felly rhywun arall sy'n barod amdani yw Will Evans, cyn chwaraewr yma yn uwch gyngrair Cymru wrth gwrs sydd erbyn hyn yn ware I gas newydd. Mae fe'n cadw cwmni I Dylan Ebenezer heddi.
Diolch Sioned, fyny fan hyn gyda Will. Great to have you here.
So i rownd gynderfynol y gemau ail gyfle y dre newydd yn erbyn Pen-y-bont ac i ni bron yn barod am y gic gyntaf yn hyn ar Barclaytham. And your usual reminder, the English language commentary is available for this one on the red button with Dylan Ebenezer and Will Evans. Ac yn y Gymraeg, mae cyn chwaraewr y dre newydd ac isriolwr Llanelli Dylan Blaine gyda Mike Davies.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Latham Park in the sunshine, glorious sunshine here today to welcome both teams. Great crowd as well. It's some occasion. Looking forward to this. The away fans here in force as well from Pen-y-bont. As we've been hearing before the game, Pen-y-bont finishing in 7th, squeaking into the playoffs. Newtown finishing 4th. They've got home advantage. Same last night. Caernarfon 5th against 6th against Cardiff Met. So Caernarfon through to the final. Waiting to see who they'll be facing next week. Place in Europe up for grabs, of course. Both teams ready for it. Joined by Will Evans, Newport County striker. Has had some season, but still remembering the good old days in the Cymru Prem. Great to have you here, Will. 3 weeks off for these two teams. It's interesting to see how they adapt to that.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dill. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's a funny one. I mean, we were just speaking off air there about the injury that Kieran Mills-Evans picked up. You want to stay ahead of time, but it can work against you as well.
Just going to have a minute's silence here before the game to remember Keith Tanner, a former player who did a lot with the club, I should say, at Newtown as well. A minute's silence there for Keith Tanner, as I was saying, former player in the 60s, been volunteering with the club as well. And here are the teams for today. A few weeks ago now, but 2 changes for both teams from the last league games. Kieran Mills-Evans, as we've heard, broke his leg in a friendly. He's out. Zelly Ismail on the bench as well. So Henry Cowans and Matty Jones in for Newtown. Lewis Harling, Keon Raffel coming in for Pen-y-bont. McFadden and Richards on the bench. How do you see them setting up? Well, what strikes you with Newtown, there's some firepower there, and there's firepower on the bench.
Well, yeah, it really is a good fixture, this one. You know, the attacking prowess of both teams really is strong. And there again, you see the Pen-y-bont team. That front three can cause real damage. And it's a match-up all over the pitch. I think it's going to be a really interesting game and one I'm looking forward to.
It's a big one. No doubt about that. And a couple of star men looking to perform. Aaron Williams, top scorer again, 3 seasons in a row now for Newtown.
Yeah, superb. I mean, I've only played 1 season against Aaron Williams, I think, but he was a pain when I played him, and to hold that for the last 3 seasons is very good.
You played with this guy, of course.
Well, yeah, and this is someone I know very well. Chris, great bloke on and off the pitch, you know. Like I said earlier, 18 goals in 21 games really is special.
Yeah, missed 6 weeks because of injury as well. There's a suspension in there. Not too much of a surprise.
Doesn't sound like Chris.
But Malcolm Jones in charge of everything. And off we go. Newtown lost the final last season here on penalties against Haverfordwest. Pen-y-bont finishing 3rd. Reaching Europe. They've had a taste of it. They want more. Newtown as well. Sun's shining. Red against blue. It's perfect. Easy for the commentators as well.
Yeah, this is good. It's quite interesting to see how they've lined up here. It looks like Rob Les has gone up alongside Aaron Williams. So they've gone with a front 2 up top rather than a flat 3. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
It's gone over the top. And here's the man in charge of Newtown, Scott Rusco. Change happening this season. Chris Hughes leaving after more than 10 years in charge here at Newtown. Rusco coming in. You tend to remember the glory years at TNS. It all started for him here at Newtown as a player, went to Chester and then came back to TNS. So an interesting end to the season as well with Rusco and Newtown. And the Reds happy to go back. Yeah, change of manager. Chris Hughes was he's part of the furniture, wasn't he? Then Rusco comes in. It's interesting. So he's had the 10 games in the second phase. Disappointing start. They lost the first 4, but that's against the top 4. They seem to be finding their feet after that, Will.
Yeah, they've had a good, what would you say, second part to the
second phase.
Second phase, yeah. So yeah, it's about finding momentum at the right time. Obviously, a new manager comes in, changes things. It could look a little bit different to the players and to the staff, and it always takes a little bit of time to mould in. But what a ball!
Is there a chance? Early chance there. Jeffries got in the way, and suddenly you see Williams waiting in the middle. Danger signs for Pen-y-bont.
If I was Williams, my excuse there would be it's come too early. You know, it's only 2 minutes into the game. I'd like to think in the next 5-6 minutes he's probably a little bit sharp, a little bit more ready for that chance. But nonetheless, half a chance for a man of his standards.
We saw last night, not the greatest game between Caernarfon and Cardiff Met, but those chances were crucial. Met had a few. They'll be looking back. Didn't play well, but they had the chances to win it.
Yeah, you looked at Sam Jones on, and unfortunately just over the bar. But again, it's a different game if he takes that chance.
He's gone out for a goal kick. Yeah, plenty of noise. Great atmosphere at Latham Park. Nice and warm as well. Rhys Griffiths did suggest he might take his top off at some point, show the guns. Might be doing it to celebrate the winner. If they get a winner, who knows how this one's going. It's so tough to call it. 2 top teams. Pen-y-bont finishing 7th. You must remember as well, one of the teams that lost points this season, lost 6 points. Got the 7th position right at the end at the expense of Haverfordwest. Quay went with that left foot onto Venables. Rafael combining for the first time. Ashley Evans, stalwart in that midfield for Pen-y-bont. Well, Robles is over. He's making sure they have to work for this. The Pen-y-bont defence. Strong tackle by Sears. It's gone against him. I don't think they'll agree with that decision.
You know what, before the game I was thinking the tempo might be a little bit off just because of how hot it is. You know, it's quite a sticky surface, but after the first 1 minute or so they've both been at it each other, and a good tempo. You wonder how long they can hold it, but I suppose who gets the first blow in, and so far some good exchanges in the middle third, and it does set up for a really exciting game.
It's going to be an interesting battle as the ball reaches Kane Owen, between Owen and Sears. Wales C teammates up against each other today. Oh, it's a throw-in for Pen-y-bont. Newtown not too happy with the decision. Chance for the visitors. Owen across to take it. Rafael made the move. Newtown got in the way. Dominic Smith initially. And Borge happy to go back to Prizibek in the goal.
It seems that, yeah, Newtown are quite happy for Pen-y-bont to have the ball here. And it's when it enters now this middle and final third, it's when they put the press on.
Kirkhoff to Venables. Season started for both teams. Here's a chance. Pen-y-bont have scored. One chance, one goal. Lovely finish as well. It's Kirkhoff. 5 minutes gone. The visitors have struck already. Well, all eyes on Venables. But it's Gabriel Kirkhoff who struck only his 2nd goal of the season. And how important is that?
Well, what a time to get your 2nd goal. I mean, it's great. It's brilliant hold-up play by Benners. He lifts the ball into Mile back post, and Mile does very well to keep it alive. And you've got to say it's a really good finish on the spin here. Look at that, yeah, bottom corner. We said before the game we'd love an early goal here to make this interesting, and that's exactly what we've got.
What a start for Pen-y-bont. They'll be delighted. Wycherley in goal for Newtown. Not happy with his defence. Plenty back for Newtown.
I tell you, on the spin, it is some finish that. It really is a good finish.
And we have lift-off in this huge European playoff semi-final. His first season in the Cymru Prem as well, as we see it again. It is a great finish. He's been doing well in the Cymru South. Kirkhoff with Pontardawe. Got his chance, he's taken it, and Rhys Griffiths will be delighted.
He'll be very happy. It's interesting now to see where this game goes. Do Pen-y-bont try and go again and get a second, or it's how Newtown respond here, and the set pieces you think they'll be dangerous from.
Scott Ruscoe, plenty to think about already. 7 minutes in, his team behind. And I know Caernarfon won't care because they won, but it's a better game than last night already after 7 minutes.
No comment.
Chance for Newtown maybe to hit back straight away. Cowans is over it. Williams waiting in the middle. Jones took it in the end. Shane Sutton arriving at the far post. They'll get a corner.
I tell you what, there's a little bit of something they've worked on the training ground there. It looked like it completely gone, but then Matty Jones, we know he's got brilliant delivery on that left foot, puts in a lovely ball, but there's actually no one attacking it in the centre of the goal.
Sutton, he's won the playoffs twice with Newtown. He was captain the first time. Trizibek in goal for Pen-y-bont. Making sure they're ready for this delivery. Again, Newtown players arriving late. Sears closest to the ball. Rafael sheltering it. Owen blasts it away. Happy with that. But again, looked like Newtown had worked on something for that corner routine. It's good to see.
Yeah, it's good. And again, it's a really inviting ball into the box, but yet again, no one there in the middle of the goal to go and attack it. It's, a centre half coming up, that's their dream, to go and have a ball like that. And to be fair, 2 deliveries now that have been haven't been attacked by Newtown, but the deliveries there, which is a positive thing for them.
Finished 1-0 last night. Caernarfon 2-0, I should say. Forgot about the second goal already. Adam Davis scored, didn't he? But 2 late goals. We've had an early goal here, and you get the feeling, I don't think it's going to finish 1-0.
No, I don't. I'd agree with you there.
Might be wrong. You never know. Things can happen. It just feels so lively already. Owen, Harling. Owen again. How important are these touches like this now?
Yeah, literally just taking the words out of my mouth. This is really important now for Pen-y-bont, just to keep the ball. And then this is what they don't want to be doing, is just complete control here. Worked it from the front to the back, keep the ball, and then a long ball probably wasn't the right option. And you take the heat into consideration as well. This is, it's really important you keep the ball.
Yeah, a dry pitch hasn't been an issue in the last few months in Wales. Suddenly,
no,
it just feels dry out there.
Yeah.
It hasn't affected the game though so far.
No, it hasn't.
As we approach 10 minutes, still singing, the Pen-y-bont fans made their way up here to mid-Wales.
Be a great day out if they can get away with a win, wouldn't they, in this sun? All together there, it's great to see.
They'll have a longer journey next week if they do win, so it's home advantage goes to the highest placed team in the league. Caernarfon will have home advantage if Pen-y-bont win, but Newtown finished 4th, so if they were to win, we'll be back here next week. Basically, we're either here or Caernarfon. It's as simple as that. I've complicated things there. There we go. We won't be in Pen-y-bont even if they do win, because they finished 7th. Right, I've explained that. Ryan Sears just coming over to have a word with the coaches. Out of your shot there. Some instructions maybe. Lewis Harling in the middle of everything, as you'd expect in that midfield.
Be interesting to see if they just work something here. It looks like they're shouting over towards the bench. They want someone attacking it either way.
It's Matty Jones again. Newtown again causing problems on the far post. But to be fair, Pen-y-bont standing firm. Callum Roberts with the header. Newtown trying to respond here. Seen enough of the ball. Pen-y-bont look organised. Deep breath from Scott Ruscoe. 11 minutes gone, Scott, as he looks at his watch. You've got plenty of time. No need to panic just yet. But Pen-y-bont ahead with that early goal. Kirkhoff spinning, scoring. Sears. Sutton makes his way, gets there first. Pen-y-bont trying to get out. You wouldn't say they're under pressure, but Newtown have just been forcing them back a bit in the last few minutes.
Yeah, they have. They're just winning a couple of duels in there. It gives them a chance to get a ball in the box. But listen, Pen-y-bont have stood up to it so well now. I've seen Ash Evans and Lewis Harlan, two experienced blokes in midfield, just telling the Pen-y-bont boys just to calm down. They're winning throw-ins, take a breather. And this is what they don't want, is the turnover so quick.
Williams on to Robles. Prizabek was out, needed to be. Jeffries, Ashley Evans, Quay went, tidying it up. And Rafael is after it. He's gone straight past the goalkeeper. Now then, decision to be made. Bryn Markham Jones goes to his pocket. It's yellow cards. You expecting the yellow, but Wycherley must have been just thinking for a second.
Well, I had my heart in my mouth. Never mind him. It's just come again from a bit of a hopeful ball, and it's just a miscommunication between the backline and Wycherley and the net. And I don't actually know if he's caught him, but I don't know. Maybe a slight touch, but it's the right call either way. He gets to the ball clearly first, and an interesting position for Kane Owen's left foot here.
You could see, so we had this just seconds before as well. Pen-y-bont dealing with that better than Newtown dealt with their situation, and Kane Owen's over the ball as well. It was funny, Kane Owen long ball, it just bounced, and Sutton seemed to think it was going through maybe, but he got deceived.
Well, that's the thing again. We go back to the dry pitch. A long ball over the top is going to hang up. You know, the bounce off the surface isn't as fluid as it normally would be.
And Kane Owen is over the ball. Kane Owen, so dangerous. That looked inviting, to say the least. Venables was waiting for it. Miles Davis clips it in. Pen-y-bont piling on the pressure. You got Kane Owen on the left, Miles Davis on the right, Venables waiting in the middle. It's quite a combination.
I was going to say, it's quite a tasty combination. Not one you want to be a Newtown defender with, but it's a nice little disguised ball by Kane Owen here, and you know, it's good defending. You've got to give Newtown their dues there. It's well won, and Dan Jeffries just unlucky with the looping one back in.
Newtown finishing fourth. They were 7 points behind Bala in third, 3 points ahead of Caernarfon. Started slowly. No wins in the first 4 games, lost 3 of them, then won 7 in a row. It's one of those weird seasons. They lost 8 in a row in December. And you just look at the pattern of the season. It's great because all the wins are in green, all the defeats are in red, so you can see the pattern from a mile off.
Clear.
You're thinking, how can you win 7 in a row and then lose 8 in a row? That's the Cymru Prem, maybe. Oh, that's what happens in any league, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I don't really want to speak about 8 defeats in a row.
No, that's wasn't intentional.
Not a nice way for us to end the season. But yeah, things can go against you, injuries, suspensions, and you know, you find that dip in form, and it's just trying to find your way out of it. And credit to Newtown, they did that, and well, they're here now with the home advantage.
Had the home advantage last season in the final, as we've mentioned, lost against Haverfordwest on penalties here. But Newtown been so consistent over the years, getting into the top 6, getting into the playoffs. Been to Europe a few times. Pen-y-bont have started so well here, to be fair.
Yeah, that's good from Kano, and again, a very level head there, knowing that the space is on the opposite side. You've got two strikers for Newtown who are playing quite narrow, with a number 10 just behind. So your right ball is the outside centre halves, and this is brilliant. This is where they need to keep the ball and keep it ticking. Wear down Newtown and then wait for the gaps to appear.
The ability just to keep the ball and keep it simple is just, it seems priceless. From the Cymru Prem, European playoffs, Champions League semi-finals, you see a team like Madrid, a youngster like Bellingham. It's the simple things.
It's just, so simple. It's just having the bravery to put a foot on the ball, and then, look, they force it now, and they lose the ball. I know it's a 50-50 and it could go either way. Maybe that's what they've worked on, but keeping the ball there, even if it's for the next, 30 seconds to a minute, it's priceless, like you said.
We're spotting the players. They all pop out for these games. Dave Jones there, former Newtown goalkeeper. There's a chat going in on the touchline. Rhys Griffiths with the fourth official. As you see Dave Jones again.
Nah, he wouldn't miss this, Dave, would he?
Nice early kick-off as well. Afternoon free. Sun shining.
Sun shining. He's going straight to the bar.
I wasn't going to say it, but yeah.
I'll say it for you. No worries.
I don't blame him. Kano in again. In possession, Harling.
There we go, we see it again. Ash Evans just taking that little position in front of the strikers.
Oh, when he can strike it. Venables, far post, hits the bar. Well, he thinks it's in. It's been given. It's a go, it's 2-0. Pen-y-bont.
Right.
Kano and smashed it in. Chris Venables. Who else was waiting for it? What a start for Pen-y-bont. The linesman's given it. We'll see it again, but Venables instantly turned round to celebrate. What a moment.
I tell you what, I think Venables' celebration has made the linesman mind up for him. He's wheeled off, finger in the air, his trademark celebration. Listen, it might be actually in, but I think his mind would have been made up from Venables' celebration here. Look, he looks completely convinced. Be interesting to see now.
See it again. It's impossible to see. Kirchhoff's in front of it there. This might be the best angle. Great cross, great header. We'll try again from this angle.
From what I'm seeing, I think that's in.
This is the moment. It's still so hard to see.
Well, there you go. Go back to Venables', the whole ball maybe perhaps not over, but Venables' celebration, I think, makes up the linesman's mind. Again,
from what I've seen,
experience.
From what I've seen, I tend to go with the decision. It looks like it's in, but I couldn't tell you for definite.
Again, that's Chris Venables in a nutshell. Meeting that header, it's such a hard technique to keep that down. He's done so well, but that experience to run off and just start celebrating, I think it probably edges the linesman's decision. And you know what? That's Chris in a nutshell. We said off air about him loving scoring at Newtown, and well, he's just gone and done it again.
Well, first game of the season back in August, they won here 3-1. Venables scoring twice. Oh, he's done it again. It's incredible. What moment that landed to Kano when you thought?
Yeah, you knew he'd be in there somewhere, and look, he does it again. And like I said, he loves scoring here, and yes.
We've mentioned the two strikers. Well, Pen-y-bont have had a fantastic start. We haven't even hit 20 minutes yet. They're 2-0 up. What have Newtown got in response? And it's that same old story, the team in 7th.
Yeah.
Looking lively.
We talk about that momentum. Momentum is a brilliant thing in football. No matter what level, what stage you're at, if you've got that momentum, it really does count for a lot. And within the team, the spirit, and trusting the players a little, your teammates more. It's a magical thing in football.
Now then, they were noisy before, the Pen-y-bont fans. I'm glad for them that they're in the shade as well.
Oh, yeah. I'd be sun-creamed up if I was out there, even in the shade.
Yeah. It's one of those weekends. Don't forget the sun cream. So as it stands, 2-0 last night, 2-0 here. We're off to Caernarfon next week. Caernarfon, Pen-y-bont, and Kieran Mills-Evans is watching. And so unlucky, so cruel. Broke his leg playing a friendly, preparing for this game.
Yeah.
Rhys Griffiths, the Pen-y-bont manager, so they haven't played a friendly because they weren't sure which way to go. Didn't want to risk injuries.
Yeah.
It's a funny one, isn't it?
Well, it's hindsight's a wonderful thing. You know, he'll be a big miss and has been so far for Newtown, because he's such an experienced leader on the pitch that, you know, quality in both boxes in defending and attacking. So, listen, we're 20 minutes in. There's plenty of time to go, but a brilliant start from Pen-y-bont nonetheless.
Kirchhoff with the first. Chris Venables, again, 38 years old, still going, still scoring.
Unbelievable. And his general hold-up play, that as well, and taking the sting out of the game, allows him to get up the pitch. And yeah, it's a really, really good start from Pen-y-bont here in the first 20. And this is what they got to do more of. Here we go, keeping the ball. No need to go longer. Wheeling it round.
Well, they're 6 unbeaten against Newtown as well. They've won the last 5, which is some records. Won 5 of those 6, I should say. The last game was a draw. What we haven't seen is any fireworks. Last season, 3 red cards in one of the games, including one for Rhys Griffiths. He was arguing with Callum Roberts. I say arguing, they were fighting, basically. So, well, under pressure here. Newtown need to show a response. But I think the red cards are the last thing on their mind at the minute as Newtown try to get back into this game. Amazing situation for Pen-y-bont. No, 20 minutes gone, 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Look at it relax, obviously.
Yeah, but it's a brilliant start, and obviously coming here as well, it really is impressive, and I think they've done everything right so far. They've defended well in the box, they've gone forward at the right times, they've killed the game at the right times, and taken their chances. And like I said, it's only 20 minutes in, but a brilliant start.
Newtown, no need to panic, but they need a response. One throw comes in, looking for Sutton. Sears trying to control it, and this is the problem now.
Yeah.
Pen-y-bont can just sit back, soak it up, and try to pounce as they have done twice.
Yeah, again, brilliant from Ash Evans. Again, just realising he needs to take the sting out of the game. They were probably on a bit of a counter-attack, but they've just defended a long throw-in. And it's just picking that right pass, knowing when to go forward and knowing when to take the sting out of the game.
They can do this all day, I guess. Newtown will try and stop it, obviously, but happy days so far. And then when Owen suddenly turns and looks up with that left foot, he can deliver. Miles Davis competing. Little back there for Pen-y-bont, and Newtown, well, again, under pressure. Well, not really even under pressure. They've lost possession. Venables, blue shirts, suddenly swarming. Owen, Kirchhoff, Venables just hovering on the far post. Harling, Kirchhoff again, lovely flick. 3 waiting in the middle. Didn't quite reach Raffel. Well, they are in control at the minute. No free kick. Kirchhoff just looking towards the referee. Jeffries finally. Do you know what? Where's that going? For 1 second. You can't see Will Evans' face, but I think Will thought that was going in.
Let's have a sit down here. I think Pen-y-bont have obviously looking at the diag for Mile, and I think that's probably what he's got in his head, is to try and get it there, but I'm telling you now.
Oh, just thought he'd missed. Keeper was fine, but it just looked like he misjudged
I think he had it covered, but I tell you what, could have gone anywhere. That would have been a nice way to finish the first 25 minutes.
Well, the way things have gone in this first 25 minutes, you wouldn't be surprised to see that one just dropping in the goal. Now then, Newtown, 3 in the middle. Back they go. George Hughes trying to drag them back into this game. Williams in the middle. They won't get there. Pen-y-bont again. Looking strong. They didn't hit the goal. They have hit one of the cameras on top of the goal with that effort by Jeffries, as we can see. Wait for it. Bang. Lovely.
I tell you what, that is close.
It was close, wasn't it?
Great angle that is. What an angle that is. Are they fixing that over there? Well, they could surely fix that, because that's not going to happen again.
Jeffries coming close. 2-0 Pen-y-bont. Winners to face Caernarfon next week, and the winners of that off to Europe. The Europa Conference competition. They still haven't finished this season's yet. Olympiacos and Fiorentina in the final. And a club from Wales will be playing in the qualifying rounds. €150,000 for getting into the first round. If you get through that, €350,000.
Yeah, it's
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It really is a lot of money, and money like that for a team in the Welsh rank, it will go a long, long way. So, yeah, it's exciting times, and being part of those games, they're great occasions to be involved in.
Flick on there by Dominic Smith. Just nobody there to respond. Need to see more of this, I'm sure, from Newtown. Scott Ruscoe might be asking, where were the red shirts Robles got there?
Yeah, it's just trying to figure out the way that Newtown are trying to do it. Like, notoriously, Newtown always been a bit of a build through the systems.
Kirkhoff to Rafael. Kirkhoff again, he scored one. Wasn't a bad strike. Venables. He's had to turn. Mile Davis. Plenty of options in the middle. Straight to the goalkeeper in the end. Wycherley, but nearly opened up again for them.
Yeah, he seems to have a very venomous left foot, this Kirkhoff. It's a great strike, I think. Is it Sutton who gets in the way, but very brave and blocks it well. But it sits up really nicely for him. You dream of that on the edge of the box. Brilliant strike, yeah, and Sutton does brilliantly, really, as he's always done. Gets in the way of it.
Bit of a wall, Shane Sutton, to be fair.
Well, yeah, and it's bounced off him like a wall as well. Yeah, credit to him. He's very brave there and put the body on the line.
Here's Aaron Williams, top scorer, 19 in the league. He's done so well. He came here from Telford, end of his third season now, and just hit the ground running straight away.
You look back to that chance he had in the first minute, and you think, was it just a bit too early? And I don't think he's had much of a kick since. Oh,
nearly got through. They're all turning towards the ref, desperate for a decision to go their way. Aaron Williams was shouting. Robbie Evans in the middle of it as well. Former Wrexham favourite. We'll have a look in a minute to see how close that was. This is why they were shouting at the referee, appealing. Well,
I mean, he's outside the box
to
start with, yeah, but I mean, his arms are probably in an unnatural position.
Smith is up. Kirkhoff gets a touch as well. Owen, Rafael nearly broke through. Seem to be on the same wavelength, don't they? The front four, well, more than that for Pen-y-bont.
Yeah, it's really fluid. It's real good to see. You know, they've obviously worked on little bits. They've been top players in the league, Mile and Kane and Venners for years. But you know, Kirkhoff and Rafael pick up some really nice pockets, looking for that link-up play. And well, listen, that's probably where the two goals have come from. A little bit of individual quality from one of them, and find themselves 2-0 up.
Owen again. Well, there's a shout from one of the players which you don't like to hear, and it's Sears. Well, not just one of Newtown's best players, one of the league's best defenders, Ryan Sears. Just didn't like the scream we heard as he went in for that tackle. It's hard to see. Don't even want to look too closely, to be honest. Owen got through.
Oh, yeah, it's a nasty one. It is a nasty one, that.
He stood in
I think Rafael's gone to put his leg out to protect the ball, and Sears is, as a good defender, we've got his toe in just before, and it's a nasty one on the ankle.
Rafael started lively. Pen-y-bont have started lively at the minute. They'll be playing in this game, as you can see on the screen there. Scorio next week, the final next Saturday, 2:30. Caernarfon waiting for the winners. As it stands, it's going to be Caernarfon against Pen-y-bont at the Oval. Over 1,200 there last night. Great atmosphere. I wonder how many will be there for the final. Here are the goals again. And again, Will, what a start for Pen-y-bont.
Yeah, it's roles reverse there, that Kirkhoff actually wins the initial header. Veners is running off him. Stands up a lovely ball to the back post, and this is what you get from Kane and Mile. You know they're going to come in at the back post. Heads it back across, keeps it alive, and yeah, that individual brilliance I was speaking about earlier, just to find the bottom corner, it's a really nice finish.
And then we get number 2. Owen absolutely blasts that across, doesn't he?
It's an unbelievable header when you see it there in slow motion again, but this is what we're talking about. Kane and Mile give you so much width and attacking prowess down the sides. You know what Kane Owen's going to do. It's on his left foot. Fizzes it in, and like I said earlier, it's met with a brilliant header by Chris.
Yeah, how hard is that header?
Yeah, coming at that pace, it takes a deflection. He's probably already made his initial jump, so he's got to hang as long as he can, keep it down, and like I said, it's a dubious goal, but yeah, he's done brilliantly well.
And that's why they're 2-0 up. Just over half an hour gone, and they've got a corner. No margin for error now for Newtown. It's still there. A scramble, a goal. It's 3. It's Chris Venables again. Of course, it's Chris Venables again. Pen-y-bont already eyeing up the final. Unstoppable in this first half. And Chris Venables scores again. Incredible by the visitors. 2 for Venables, 3 for Pen-y-bont.
Well, we were saying about Newtown having some tricks up their sleeves from set pieces, but this is brilliantly worked. It's pulled back to Kirkhoff on the edge. I mean, he scuffs the shot, but it's kept alive. And yet again, who else? That man, Chris Venables, back post, taps it in for 3-0.
Well, already you're thinking, how on earth do you come back from this? There it is again as it lands. Just, of all people, for it to land to.
For it to land to, from a Newtown perspective, anyone else but Chris Venables, from a Pen-y-bont point of view, the only man you want it to land to. And listen, it's one of the easiest ones Chris will have, but at the end of the day, you've got to be there to put it in, and he's done exactly that. 3-0 Pen-y-bont.
Well, Rhys Griffiths just watching. There he is. Is it the thinker, that statue? Rodin, the thinker.
Yeah.
Rhys Griffiths there,
I mean,
poised.
Would it be a different reaction if that was 1-0 in the 85th minute? I'd probably say so, but again, it's just showing the calmness and the coolness from Pen-y-bont, and I think they've shown that in their play so far.
Well, they're both in a similar pose. Scott Rusco absolutely must be wondering what's happened to his team. There's a whistle, a decision that stops Pen-y-bont mid-flow because they were off again there. I think now, as I was saying, there's no margin for error. That's even though when it was 2-0. Pen-y-bont are absolutely coasting at the minute.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle now. But Pen-y-bont, like I said, have done everything right so far.
There's a game in the English Premier League as well, which I'd totally forgotten about. And I just realised Manchester City are ahead. 1-0 at Fulham. I may have mentioned it in the last few years that I'm an Arsenal fan, but just wondering, I wonder, could Fulham do something? There we go. That's the answer to that. Yeah, they're like a juggernaut this time of year, Manchester City, mind you. I'd put Pen-y-bont up against them, the way they're playing today. Now then, Robles. It's been forced wide. Here's a chance for Newtown. Can they grab something? Williams, far post. Sears arriving late as well. And Kane Owen will clear. And not just clear. There's always a chance. Wycherley's out. Evans. Oh, they must be shell-shocked. Newtown, George Hughes. And it's gone straight through. 1-0, you're thinking, okay, early goal, they might settle. 2-0, okay, they might be way back. What does 3-0 do to your state of mind more than anything with Newtown?
Well, that's it now. This is a their last chance for the season. Get into the playoff final. You've got to give everything this second half. It can't really go a lot worse. If it was 2-0, you could say you could stay in the game. 3-0 is a mountain to climb, but Newtown need to try and see what they can get before the end of the half. They've got 10 minutes now before the second half. If they can nick something here, a little ricochet, set piece, work something that they've obviously got in their locker to try and pull one back, and then it opens it up. But 3-0 is a really tough scoreline. But you've just got to keep plugging away. They've got to, get around. I think Aaron Williams had very little service. We talk about how many goals he scored. If he's not getting the service, it's tough for him to impact the game. And I just can't really see what Newtown have offered as of yet. Maybe the set pieces, they've worked on something, but nothing's really coming off for him at the moment.
Let's see if something lands here. Sears on the far post. Well, got into position, couldn't capitalise. I think there was a chance.
Well, we were just saying about set pieces, and that's where it's come from now. There's a bit of confusion between the backline of Pen-y-bont. I do wonder, should Sears go with his head rather than trying to volley it back across? Oh, maybe it's just, he's got to go with his foot. You can clearly see he's upset with how it's come out, but it's a chance.
And the way things are going, they haven't had many of those.
No, exactly.
So far. Scott Rushko came in January, so he's had 10 games in the second phase. Lost the first 4, but all against the top 4. So last 6, 1 defeat, and that's against TNS, and it was 1-0. So they've been doing well in the last few games, unbeaten in the last 4. They won their last 2. They had 5 against Caernarfon, beat Cardiff Met 3-1. So they've been banging some goals in, but it just hasn't happened for them today so far.
Well, this is exactly what Pen-y-bont would have wanted. An early goal, build on it, kill the game, nick a second, and, work a set piece that's paid off for them to make it 3-0 before half-time. As for Newtown, it's the worst possible way you would have wanted to start the half with the early goal. And again, Benner's just really, really smart players. As from a striker's point of view, he's just winning fouls, and it gives him another chance to put a ball in the box.
He hasn't even got far to go home. He lives in Mid Wales as well. What a day.
What a day for him. Yeah, he probably saw the draw and thought, this will work.
Well, 2 for Venables already. You know what he's thinking. He's not going to stop at 2.
No.
Well, he might have to. That's up to Newtown, but if anybody fancies a hat-trick, I'm sure it's Chris Venables.
Yeah, definitely. What's that now for him? Is that 20 goals in 22 games?
Yes.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Missed 6 weeks with injury.
Missed 6 weeks of injury. Unbelievable.
And look at this position as well. Danger again for Newtown. Again, for once, it's disappointing from Owen.
He's allowed one.
Whips it in. The left foot, Kane Owen. What a servant for Pen-y-bont. Rhys Griffiths isn't one to compliment too much, but even he has to admit that left foot for Kane Owen. Yeah. It's a wand, according to the manager.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Team of the season 3 years in a row, no surprise there. Sutton gets ahead to it. Pen-y-bont keep it going. Ashley Evans, of all people, looking to capitalise as Newtown clear early. Problem is, there's nobody there, apart from the blue shirt of Dan Jeffries. You understand why they're rushing, maybe, but
but if there's no
3 defenders against 1.
I mean, Robles was on his way, but it would have to be some ball to pick him out there.
Maybe the first sign of desperation from Newtown. 5 minutes to go in the first half. If they can just get something before half-time or start of the second half. There's plenty of time, just they haven't been convincing so far.
That's what Newtown would have wanted. It's a poor decision from Rafael. He's never going to get there. Evans as well to get himself between the ball and the man and gets a foul. And this is where you feel Newtown are going to have a little bit of joy. It's clever play from Evans. And again, this is where they need to try and take advantage.
So that's Zeli Ismail on the bench today. Is their most creative player, leading the way with assists.
Yeah, they need a little bit of something here, I feel.
A goal would be a start. Nicely delivered, but goalkeeper Frizibek, no problem whatsoever.
just said they've done so well to win the free kick, and it's just about getting that quality right. It seems that set pieces seem to be the way for Newtown to get back into this game, and I think 3 have gone into the middle of the box. Maybe that one's a little bit close to the keeper, but 3 potential chances there that haven't been met by a Newtown player.
Into the final 5 minutes of this first half. Sean McDonald watching Pen-y-bont.
Be itching to play this one, wouldn't he?
I'm sure, absolutely. He's been in and out the team, had a few injuries. Still got 20 appearances this season. Sean McDonald.
Wealth of experience as well. He would be
huge.
Absolutely massive. You know, he would be crucial, but credit Pen-y-bont, they've managed it really well so far.
Newtown again. Long throw. It's just blue shirts everywhere as Kane Owen clips it on. Ashley Evans again competing for it with Callum Roberts.
That throw is just, the second ball has just dropped on the penalty spot with absolutely no red shirts around it, and Kane Owen's able to turn and half pick a pass out. You think you've got to have a man there for the second ball. It's dropped on the penalty spot, and it bounced a couple of times before Kane can get his foot to it. Doesn't quite add up there really, but I suppose they've worked on something, a bit of a bus stop, if you like, from the throw-in, but no one there for the second ball.
I'm going to have to ask, bus stop, what does that mean?
Oh, yeah, so that's just a line of 4 people in a row. So if you're queuing for the bus.
Like the little train as they used to do.
There we go,
Got you. Now then.
Just giving away some Newport tactics.
Yeah, there we go. Bus stop.
Bus stop.
Newport manager shouting bus stop, you know what's coming. I don't know about Newport, but Newtown needs some help at the minute. 3-0. Expected goals, expected an entertaining game. Not sure we expected this dominance from Pen-y-bont. Although this didn't really expect to see them in the bottom half, to be honest. Finished 7th this season. For the first time since their first season, they've been top 6 ever since. The first season was the one that finished early because of COVID. Well, they only just stayed up because of the points awarded. Gone from strength to strength since then. Speaking of strength, Sears went in against Kirkhoff. Strong challenge. Kirkhoff still down here. Nobody was pulling out.
His teeth there, Sears, didn't he? I think it's probably, yeah, I know it was Rafael on the early one, but oof, yeah, it's a fair
both
crash.
Going in, I guess.
Yeah, it's a 50-50, I think. There's no malice in that. It's just a strong, firm tackle, and to be fair, he has bounced off Ryan.
Kirkhoff is down. Hopefully not out for Pen-y-bont. Got the first goal after 4 minutes. Chris Venables hitting 2 since then. So similar to the first game of the season. Pen-y-bont won here 3-1. Chris Venables scoring twice. Now then, Scott Rushko. So much experience as a player and manager. He needs to change something.
The body language here of the Newtown players, though, they're all spread out. No one's really speaking. It's, you know, Scott Rushko's trying to give on information. It's bottles being thrown. It just looks, they look defeated. And don't get me wrong, it's easier said than done being up here. I've been there where you're 3-0 down. It is demoralising. Seeing George Hughes there shake his head. It's now down to them now. They've got to try and dig themselves out of the hole and get back into the game. But the body language just looks flat, and you know what have we got? A couple minutes now. You can go and do that inside in the changing rooms, but for the fans that have come out and, you know, for each other, you've got to look to each other for a bit of inspiration, and they all look defeated.
Just hearing the crowd as well, 640 here. Good to see, especially when you had last night over 1,200 at the Oval at Caernarfon. End of season does tend to bring out the supporters. Big games to win the league, games to stay up, games to get into Europe. Of course, the attendances are going to be better. So how do we try and get to that in January? That's the big question, I guess.
I know, and the sun being out obviously helps, doesn't it? It's a great day out for football fans, of whether you support the clubs. It's just a great day out, and yeah, easier to get those attendances, like you said, in the bigger games in the sunshine.
Yeah, seems to be the case. 4 minutes added on. No sign of a comeback yet. Let's see what comes in these next few minutes, and that might sum it up. As Rhys Griffiths' socks, he's taking his shoes off. There we are. No idea why, but there we go. Just relaxing in the sun, maybe.
Fair enough, fair enough.
He won't let his players relax. That's a given. So competitive, Rhys Griffiths, as a player and now as a manager. He looks like he could still play as well, to be fair, with Rhys Griffiths.
Some serious shape on him, isn't there? Yeah, I remember coming when he used to shout off the sideline. I would say, yeah, I agree, Rich. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's easier.
Yeah.
I remember years ago when he was a player and he'd bumped into him a few mornings. I was working early as a young reporter. He'd been up all night working for the fire brigade, and then we're going now straight to the gym.
Yeah, crazy.
Fair play.
Built differently. Fair play to him.
Well, his team doing him credit so far. Now then, Newtown bursting through as Robbie Evans joining from midfield. Haven't seen hardly any of that so far.
There you go, another chance to put the ball in the box. Couple minutes left before half-time. Can they nick something here?
Well, we know it's coming, don't we?
Yeah.
It's going to be a decent throw.
But I'm looking at that space in between Sears and the bus stop, like I alluded to earlier. There we go, he's gone in a little bit closer now.
Sutton flicked it on. Well, Davis clearing for Pen-y-bont. And they've done it all half, to be fair, wherever it's landed. It's a blue shirt there first.
Yeah, you've got to give them credit. They have defended brilliantly. They've been clinical in both boxes.
Well, little nudge. Not a free kick. Kane Owen clears with Williams waiting, just in case there was a mistake. Still 2 minutes to go. It could be an important few minutes here before we hit half-time. Newtown starting to respond.
There you go, corner. They'll have time to do it. They've just got to get this right. This could be a bit of a saving grace from the first half. They can go in with, just one, cut the deficit by one. It definitely opens it up for the second half. This has got to be on the money.
Matty Jones can deliver. Let's see what happens here. Big moment at the end of this first half. Jones far post, blue shirts again. Harling this time. Still there for Newtown. Disappointing effort in the end. Kind of sums up the first half for the home team.
Yeah, I think so. Again, Pen-y-bont win the first ball. Brilliant first header. And it drops quite nicely for George Hughes on the edge. And, he's got a brilliant technique. Yeah, he's gone for the laces, and it's not ended as he wanted.
Well, there we go. End of the first half. Rhys Griffiths' team in control. 3-0. Early goal. Gabriel Kirchhoff turning, spinning, scoring, and then 2 for Chris Venables. Stunning header. And then a simple tap in. It's 3-0 at half-time.
ato ni. Wel, ni fel arfer yn gyfarwydd y bach o ddrama yn y gemau ail gyfle, ond mae wedi bod yn brynhawn gyfforddus iawn I Pen-y-bont hyd yn hyn. Gôl cynnar gan Gabe Kirkhoff a 2 bach arall gan pwy arall, ond Chris Venables yn rhoi Pen-y-bont ar y blaen o 2 gôl I ddim. Yr hanner cyntaf perffaith I dîm Rhys Griffiths. Fan hyn ar Barc Latham yn erbyn y dre newydd. Ie, mae wedi bod yn dipyn o hanner cyntaf Pen-y-bont ar y blaen o 2 gôl I ddim. Y Siôn Meredith wedi ail ymuno a fi fan hyn wrth ochr y ca. Siôn, o ti'n disgwyl hwnna?
Wel, be dwi'n gwybod, o'n i'n meddwl byddai'n gêm agos.
A na pam ti'n me?
Wel, ie, ti'n bod, dechreuad gorau I Pen-y-bont, y gôl gynnar na gan Kirkhoff, a wedyn 2 gôl gan Chris Venables. Ti'n meddwl, mae'n mynd yn talcen caled i'r dre newydd o nôl mewn i'r gêm yma.
Beth am ni weld y gôl gynta yna, Siôn? Gabe Kirkhoff yn sgorio ar ôl 6 munud. A Pen-y-bont yn wario mor uniongyrchol, Siôn.
Ie, yn wedi ar gyfer y gôl yma, ond I fi, y ffaith bod nhw'n deall yr hediadau, y flick-ons, Chris Venables ar yr ychrysur yna, yn neud yr hediad I ennill a cael y croesad mewn. Alle ti weid bod yna cwestiwn mark ar gyfer yr amddiffyn. Fydde Ciara Mills-Evans yna, fydde'r gôl mewn, dwi ddim yn siŵr. Ond Kirkhoff, beth mae fe'n neud yn dda fyna, cymered y bêl ar draws I gorffe, a wedyn cadw'r bêl yn eisiau ac yn curo'r gôl geidwad.
Ie, dechreuad perffaith I Pen-y-bont. Yr ail gôl wedyn ni, Siôn, nes di sôn am Cyn Owen Cynnigan, ca mor bwysig o ddim yn I fod. Fe'n creu y gôl yma I Chris Venables, ond cyment o le gyda Venables.
Ie, mae'n croesiad yn cymerid gwiriad o'r ddiar amddiffynwr y dre newydd. Ond Chris Venables, nes ni sôn yn y coms, hwnna'n atgoffa fi o Cristiano Ronaldo ar y postyn pella. A be mae'n ein dda yw mae'n defnyddio I gorff a cyfhir I gwddwgau, I cael y benne dros e. Mae'n tipyn o sgil.
A pan ddath y drydydd gôl wedyn ni, Chris Venables unwaith eto, Siôn. Ond eto, os mae'r cwestiwn o ran dylse'r dre newydd fod yn cadw bach mwy o lygad ar symudiadau Chris Venables?
Wel, yn sicr oddi ar y cae ymarfer mae hon wedi dod. Kirkman fi'n credu gath y cyffyrddiad fyna. Bydde fe wedi hoffi gwell cysylltiad, ond mae'n glanio trwy look I Chris Venables. Ond mae fe'n y lle iawn ar y man iawn o hyd, a mae fe'n ei gyrfa hwnna.
Ie, mae wedi bod mor bwysig I Pen-y-bont ers ymuno â nhw tymor yma. Reit o ran y dre newydd, beth sy'n nesaf I nhw? Beth sydd rhaid I nhw newid?
Wel, mae angen y gôl nesaf nhw, yn syml, Sioned. Fydd rhaid nhw newid un y ddoi bersonel. Dwi ddim yn siŵr pwy fydd hwnna. Dyna lan i'r rheolwr I benderfynu sut mae fe'n mynd I newid y gêm. Ond yn sicr o rhan Pen-y-bont, sy'n mae angen I newid dim. Allan nhw gadael y chwarae ddod at nhw, a edrych ar y cwrdd cymysyddiad. A dyna'n union fi'n creu newn nhw. So nhw'n mynd I newid yn byd.
Ti'n credu bod y dre newydd di dangos digon, Siôn? Ac ar hyn o bryd, mae fe'n edrych fel, dim ond un tîm sy'n moyn cyrraedd yr own derfynol yna, a Pen-y-bont yw yna.
Ie, yn syml, yr ail bêl, mae Pen-y-bont wedi ennill, wedi ni 99% o'r ail bêl, a hwnna'n ffactor mawr mewn gêm pêl trod. Neswn ni sôn yn y commentary bod falle to'r ffaith bod da ni rheolwr newydd, falle bod da fe rhinweddau newydd, dillau newydd y chwarae, mae hwnna'n cymeryd amser. Dwi ddim yn siŵr os yw hwnna'n ffactor hefyd.
Mae lot yn gallu newid mewn 3/4 awr. O ran Rhys Griffiths, oedd e dal mas yma gyda'i dîm reoli fe.
O pwyllgor yma fe?
Y pwyllgor yn trafod, mae fe'n edrych fel bod wedi ymlacio, mae fe wedi tynnu I ysgidio off. Beth sy'n credu fydd I neges ei yn ystafell newydd?
Sy'n ni'n licon tynnu'n ysgidio off ar ôl fi ddod oddi ar y cae. Ond fe wedes I, os dim rhaid nhw'n newid dim byd ar hyn o bryd. Yr unig beth fi'n credu'r rhain o fo'n wyliadwrus am yw'r ffaith mae mor boeth allan a dyn ni Chris Venables bod e'n super fit. Mae fe'n 38, falle'r chwaraewyr sy'n dachrau rhedeg allan o stêm, dod â'ch coesau ffres mlaen pan fod angen.
Siôn, diolch yn fawr iawn am y tro. Wel, mae is rheolwr Llanelli Dylan Blaen yn rhan o dîm sgorio prynhawn yma, a mae fe'n cadw cwmni I Nicky John.
Diolch, Siona, Dylan. Da ni wedi dod at I lawr o gysgod y pwynt sylwebu lawr i'r heilwen braf fan hyn, ond beth am yr hanner cyntaf yna? Pen-y-bont yn llwyr reoli'r chwarae.
Bydd Rhys Griffiths wrth I fod i'r hanner gyntaf nawr nhw ar arbennig ar y trod lan o'r cychwyn. Ennill bob ail bêl oedd yn cwmpo fyna, a pam dath y cyfleuon nath nhw cymeryd nhw hanner arbennig.
Ac ydy o mor syml o hynny bod nhw wedi cymryd y cyfleuon lle, wel, dydy'r dre newydd heb gael lawer o gyfleuon i'w cymryd na ddo?
Nath nhw cael y troi blaen yn y gêm fi'n credu, nhw unwaith dath hwnna, ti'n bod oedd y gol gyntaf, ond nhw'n just yn dominyddu'r meddiant mewn ffordd hefyd, ond hyd yn oed pan oedd y dre newydd yn pan maen nhw yn ymosod, mae amddiffyn Pen-y-bont wedi bod yn gyntaf i bopeth, a wedyn wrth i'r bêl ail bêl na gwmpo, eto Pen-y-bont y gyntaf, wedyn lan y ca wedyn, mae'r enw Venables yn amlwg sydd yn y lle gywir trwy'r amser, a dwi ddim yn colli unrhyw beth pan mae'r cyfle'n dod.
O, mae o wedi gwneud i yrfa allan o hynny, ond beth sydd ddim yn gweithio i'r Drenewydd ar hyn o bryd? Da ni'n gwybod bod Kieran Mills a Evans ar goll wrth gwrs yn yr amddiffyn. Os na'n fwy iddo fo na hynny?
Wel, amlwg mae hwnna yn colled iddyn nhw. Ti'n bod yn gyfri ail drefnu tyma bach o ran rai o'r chwaraewyr yn wario mewn safle wahanol, a fe yn allweddol yn y canol. Felly ie, mae hwnna yn ran o fe. Ond o ran y peth eraill wedyn, ti'n credu just hyd yn oed pan maen nhw'n cael y cyfleoedd lan y ca, ti'n bod y cicio rydd a'r taflad y hir yma, angen rhagweld y chwarae bach mwy, gweld beth sy'n digwydd a wedyn fod ar yr ail bêl yna'n gyflymach. Ond mae'n anodd pan mae chwaraewyr fel Lewis Harling, Ashley Evans, Gabe Kirkhoff, pan maen nhw o amgylch fyna, mae'n neud yn anodd iawn i Drenewydd.
Gai ofyn i ti hefyd am chwaraewyr ymysodol y Drenewydd. Oedden ni'n sôn cyn y gêm, falle mae gêm rhwng Chris Venables ac Aaron Williams fysa hi, ond mae chwaraewyr ymysodol y Drenewydd wedi bod yn dawel iawn.
Ydyn, ie, a na pob clod i amddiffyn Pen-y-bont am hwnna. Ti'n bod beth ni wedi gweld wrth Pen-y-bont yw bod Kirkhoff, Raffel a Venables lot o gosach at ei gilydd pan mae'r bêl yn mynd mlaen, le gyda dred newydd, maen nhw falle bach dim mwy o amgylch ei gilydd gymaint, a falle gwelwn ni newid nawr hanner amser i gweld y gallwn ni newid hwnna.
Dylan, diolch. Neu adlu ti fynd yn ôl am y pwynt sylwebu na i'r cysgod ecwilfer sydd nesa iddyn ni rwan, ond dewch yn ôl ato ni ar gyfer yr ail hanner rhwng y Drenewydd a Pen-y-bont mewn cwpl o funudau.
Croeso nôl ato ni fan hyn I Barglith. Yma mae di bod yn hanner cyntaf trychinebus i'r dre newydd. Os na ffordd nôl I dîm Scott Rosgrow. Ni'n barod am yr ail hanner fan hyn, felly nôl â ni at ein tîmau sylwebu ni.
Welcome back. And is there a way back for Newtown? That's the question. There's a change anyways. Elliot Ismail's is coming on instead of Matty Jones. Ismail's been top performer this season. Most assists with the club. He did score 2 goals in last season's playoff semi-final. Just leaving it out there. Let's see if he can repeat that. I'm sure his manager, Scott Roscoe, would be delighted. They need something here. Let's see how they respond. Well, they respond by losing the ball straight away. Keon Raffel. Off they go. Miles Davis again. Looking for Kane Owen. Little touch, free kick. Will Evans is keeping me company. Newport County striker. Former Bala Town, Cardiff met. He's won the playoffs. He's lost the playoffs. Sorry, Will. Got to mention that. Yeah, anyway, back. What do you make of it?
Well, they've obviously made a bit of an attacking change. I'd expect Ismail to play a little bit further forward. Matty Jones coming off, maybe does that mean that Newtown shuffle to a 4 potentially to allow them to get up the pitch a little bit more? I'd assume so, being 3-0 down at this stage. You've got to edge slightly, and a change of shape probably does that. But it'll be interesting to see. What they cannot do is concede like they did in the first half in the first 5 minutes, and that will really put the game to bed.
Well, it feels like a big moment already. Kane Owen clips it in. No problem for Newtown. Everybody back. So many red shirts back. There's hardly anybody there to try and threaten. Henry Cowans was leading the charge. It's another free kick to Pen-y-bont. Sears with the foul. He's looked frustrated all afternoon. Understandable as well when you're 3-0 down.
Yeah, again, it was a little bit of an obvious foul, if I'm honest. Jeffrey's done well to spin it, and it's probably out of frustration, pulls him back. But again, Newtown, they defended the first one well, but again, giving away a set piece in the first couple of minutes really puts them under pressure and putting this game to bed of a 4-0.
Pen-y-bont have never won the playoff semi-final. Been in there twice, lost twice. Once against Newtown. Certainly different today as they attack again. Looking for Chris Venables again. Got his head to it. Somehow winning the battle on the far post. Well, it was nearly another.
He's brilliant at that. We were just speaking off air about his heading ability. He looked nowhere near this ball. A couple of men in between. He's so unlucky. He's done so well to guide it towards that back post. He's very unlucky to get in that hat-trick. But that's the danger of giving away set pieces that high up the pitch from Newtown.
Robbie Evans for the home side. Robbie for the Robins, trying to drag them back into this. Callum Roberts. Crowded out. Yeah, that header from Chris Venables. There's 2 defenders either side of them. He thought one of them was going to clear it. Nope, Venables there first.
Straight through the middle, and to be fair, he's looked up for it today, Chris, and he's got his 2 goals. I know playing with him, he'll want that hat-trick more than anything, and obviously doing it at a club that's just down the road from him will mean even more.
Henry Cowans, long throw, Sutton. He was head to it, but headed it out rather than dangerous flick on. Roberts. Cowans. Well, he blasted it in. It was nearly a decent opportunity. Sears now for Newtown. He's desperately trying to create something. Ismail, the substitute, done well. I was going to say he's won the corner. It's a goal kick. I'm sure Scott Roscoe agrees with the decision, but it's a goal kick, and well, straight away we see Ismail trying to contribute.
Definitely, great piece of skill initially. Goes round hard. It's brilliant recovery from Kane Owen. I think he does well just to marshal him out. Could have been a bit of a nasty one there into the fence, but yeah, it shows what Ismail can bring to this team, and you know he's going to probably try and isolate Kano on a 1v1 out there.
Scott Ruscoe, new manager, came in January after Chris Hughes left. And as someone who loves stats, the Chris Hughes stats, it was all the fours. He left after a 4-0 defeat against Bali. They were 4th in the league and he was 44 years old. There you go. His age has nothing to do with it. I just liked it.
What time did he leave?
Oh, now then.
4:44.
Oh, I hope so. If not, we'll just change history.
It is now. Yeah, I like that one, Dales. I like that one.
Well, they flick it on again, looking for Chris Venables. Newtown looking for Ismail. Kano in. Well, at least there's a battle going on. It's a foul, but you can see already Ismail's trying to make a difference.
Well, that's the plan. They're trying to suck Kano in slightly. Ismail's not even looking at the ball. He's off, running in behind him. Kano does well to get his body in the way. It's a bit of an obvious foul, but you know, again, it's sticky. It doesn't bounce as true as it should, and you know, on the next one he can get a toe in there and potentially in on goal. So yeah, it's more encouraging for Newtown.
Well, that first half performance from Pen-y-bont is nearly perfect. I'm not sure what else they could do to be perfect, but 3-0 up, away from home, semi-final, European playoff. What a half. There's a foul there on Aaron Williams. You can see the shirt being pulled. Another chance to just lob it in there.
Yeah, well, it's now Newtown's turn to load the box. I think they've come out with a bit more urgency. Again, there's a substitute of Ismail made a big impact, but if they can get one of these deliveries right, they need a chance to get back into the game. And what are we? We're only 5-6 minutes in, so it's definitely a good time to score.
Cowans clips it in. Pen-y-bont clear. Sutton. You look up from the free kick, that's all I could see was a blue line.
Honest to God, now I'm looking at that thinking, it's actually a good ball. And he's done a couple in the first half as well, him and Matty Jones, into really good areas. Yet, like you said, there's a line of blue shirts with no one attacking the ball. All the centre-halves have either peeled to the edge of the box or to the back end of the box, and it's just a free header. I can't quite understand it.
I thought the only thing worrying Pen-y-bont at the minute is, have they played too well in the semi-final? Need to keep it for the final. Rafael, they're off again. Miles Davis continues his run. Well, they nearly kept it in. And Kirchhoff and Venables were waiting as well.
He is a Duracell Mile, isn't he? He just does not stop. Up and down, fair play to him. Obviously playing with him as well. He has got a great engine, but that wing-back role is really suited to him. He's up and down. He's got great quality. And gets in. Look at that now. He's in shape. He's ready to go again, and he's a brilliant attacking outlet.
And so consistent. Played every game this season. Miles Davis, the only one in the Pen-y-bont team to do that. Now then, suddenly a chance. Robles thought about the shot, clipped it on. Probably a good decision. Pen-y-bont have regathered.
Again, Ismail with a great pick out for Robles. He's found himself some acres of space. I think he can actually hit that myself. He's tried looping it in towards Williams. I understand that.
Again, looking for Robles. Miles Davis. Straight to Cowans. Robles again. Billy Borge across for Pen-y-bont.
Good start from Newtown now, I must say. But besides the first 2 minutes where they give away 2 sloppy fouls leading to the Venables chance, I think it's been a great response.
Cowans again, long throw. Well, he scored twice. Now Venables is back there defending. He is all the way back. Yeah, you'd expect a response from any team. We're never sure either then. Newtown, it's looking better, shall we say?
Yeah.
Well, Roberts, he's won a free kick. He did well there, Roberts, because limited options around him.
Yeah, he's done well. And again, they better load this box up right, or I'll go out there and try and put him in order.
If we see a pitch invasion, it might be Will Evans having a word.
Too hot, actually. I haven't got my sun cream on. See here, they've got Dom Smith, Shane Sutton and Aaron Williams all loaded up at the back post. Ryan Sears on the knockdown. It looks a better setup from here.
Robbie Evans leaves it, so they've gone short for Robles. Back to goal.
Nice.
Evans again. There's a decision there. Referee's not going to give anything. Bryn Markham Jones looked like a strong tackle, but again, causing some problems at least. We'll see it again. Maybe hopeful shout from Newtown.
Well, maybe this is what they were doing, trying to bluff me as well to work something down the side. It's really, really well worked. You know, beating the offside trap as well as confusing the opposition. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I think he does trip. If I've got to give it.
I don't think there was much in it from what we're hearing. We'll see it again in a minute. No, but we're still carrying on. Play continues. Newtown keep possession. At least the play's in Pen-y-bont's half. Again, decent ball. Robles against Miles Davis. Davis wins the battle. Well, Ashley Evans thought Rafael would have continued with his run there. Right. I said we'd see it. Let's have a look.
I think it's a good tackle, do you know?
The referee didn't flinch, to be fair.
Well, he's standing right there. He's in the best possible angle, yeah. It's well tracked by Miles, to be fair. It could have easily let him run off the back, but yeah, listen, the referee's in a brilliant position, and my honest opinion, I think it's the right decision.
Just over 10 minutes gone. Second half, better from Newtown, but scoreline stays the same, 3-0. As we see second half possession, huge change.
Yeah, there we go.
Scoreline's the same though, Will.
Well, that's it. That's the thing now. They just need to find something from somewhere. But listen, first 10 minutes they've come out a little bit sharp, a little bit quicker, in their faces a little bit more. It's just now trying to exercise a chance because they haven't really tested the keeper at all.
Nearly 650 here today. That's more like it, I'd say, when we see the attendances. Bucket hats coming in handy in the sunshine. Venables against Sutton. There's a battle for you. Miles Davis furthest forward. Callum Roberts winning the header. Cowans battling in midfield. Important touch by Cowans because Rafael nearly pinched it. Ishmael again piling on the pressure, but Kane Owen turns away. Evans. Newtown just getting in there, getting a foot in. Ishmael, Robles into the area. Now Ishmael, can they deliver? They're waiting in the middle. Aaron Williams is one of them. Better by Newtown again. Callum Roberts battling. George Hughes.
A lot better from Newtown. Again, Zeli Ishmael is definitely that creative spot. Look at this for a pocket.
Robbie Evans, chance to shoot from distance. Well, took a swing, why not? Frustrating in the end, but suddenly it opened up for him.
Yeah, really good from Newtown there. A little bit more patient with George Hughes on the front foot, nicks the ball, steps in. It's not a bad strike at all, that. Almost in a similar position to where Kirchhoff scored his goal in that bottom corner. He's only got one thing in his mind, was to hit it, and yeah, it's unlucky. But better from Newtown, that even the ball in from Cohen's on the right hand side there, really good.
Former Wrexham player Robbie Evans. Well, over 150 games for Wrexham. He was the youngest captain at one point as well. Trying to drag Newtown back into this tie. And suddenly we're approaching the hour mark. And they're going to have to... They've done well second half, but still 3-0. They're going to have to chuck something at it soon. Plenty of options on the bench as well. When you see Wandue, Oswell's on the bench, Ishmael's come on. You'd expect a Well, something's got to change for Scott Ruscoe and his team.
Yeah, you'd think Oswald would be a natural change for maybe Cohen to go and partner Williams up top. And Thumper, we know his quality in the league over the years.
Robbie Evans leading the charge again. I think he felt that one. Evans. Half an hour to go. Bang on. 3-0 Pen-y-bont. Nothing's changed regarding the scoreline. Pattern of the game's changed a bit, just as you'd expect. Newtown trying to drag themselves back into it.
I think Scott Ruscoe is calling someone down here.
I think he's calling you down.
I haven't got my boots.
Evans, back they go. Yeah, I think Mondu getting ready to come on. No surprise there.
Yeah, he'll have that little bit of pace, bit of urgency. You know, we've seen it with Ismail on the one side.
Now then, what a run this is. Straight through the middle. There's a shot at the end of it as well. Stinging shot. Goalkeeper had to respond. Well, the best contribution so far comes from a defender, to be fair. Dominic Smith, what a run.
To be fair, it's just opened up for him. It's a great run. It's on his weaker side. It's a great contact, great strike, and it's well watched by the Pen-y-bont man in the sticks.
Dominic Smith joined last summer from Alfreton. He used to play for Wales in the 21s. One of his last games, he was centre-back with Joe Rodon, as we see Sutton just heading it back. You had Joe Rodon in the team, Harry Wilson, Connor Roberts and Dan James. It's not bad.
I actually played with him as a youth player as well at the time at Shrewsbury. He was a year above me. But yeah, trained with him and played with him as well. Many moons ago.
The Shrewsbury connection here with Newtown.
It's
so interesting. A lot of players have started off there and ended up here. Well, Mondu is one.
Yeah.
Just straight away. Now then, Aaron Williams, Robles is an option. Still plenty of blue shirts back there. Again, you look up, as Aaron Williams probably looked up, and not many options.
I think he's got to do it a bit earlier. I think that space in between the keeper and Robles was big enough for him to try and just put one in there. But again, like we said, the impotence and the urgency from Newtown has been a lot better in this past 5-10 minutes, and since the break they've come out with a bit of a purpose.
Sutton, Louis Robles. Oh, he's into the box as well. Good run by Robles. Again, the blue shirts are back there. And Venables will hold it up under pressure from Sutton. He's done more than hold it up. Great work by Venables. Decent tackle on him, to be fair, by Callum Roberts. But off they go again. Harling for Pen-y-bont. Raffel. Harling again. Okay, no win. Joining the attack. Kirkhoff still going. Harling, can they make it 4? Kirkhoff again. He started it all off. Yeah. He's hit the 4th. And that's it now, surely. Pen-y-bont can look forward to a final next week at Caernarfon. Gabriel Kirkhoff started the ball rolling 5 minutes into the first half. He's grabbed his second. Pen-y-bont's 4th. Blue flares and blue smoke everywhere in Newtown.
It's a brilliant first touch from him, and Harling does very well to pull it back here. He continues his run. I thought he took it early, to be fair, because it was a bit behind him, but
got some power behind the
shot.
Yeah,
he did it, and it's come too quick at Shane Sutton. You got to sympathise for him because he's in the right position, but it just seems to go through his legs, and you would say game, set and match Pen-y-bont, but it's so unfortunate. Honest to God, it's so unfortunate. But it's credit for what they've done, all their good work, you know, going forward. Clinical in both boxes, like I've said earlier, and 4-0 with very little time now for Newtown to bring it back.
Well, they were dragging themselves back into it without convincing they were going to get a goal. Callum Roberts was down while all that move was happening. He went in against Chris Venables and he was down. Pen-y-bont played on. got the goal. He was on the pitch when he was down, so it's you don't have to stop the game. And it's 4-0. 2 for Kirkhoff, 2 for Venables. What an afternoon for Pen-y-bont. 25 minutes to go. And it'll be hard now just to do more than go through the motions, you'd have thought. Personal pride, obviously, for Newtown. But again, Harling's there. He was so crucial in that goal, Harling. Ball ran away from him. George Hughes got in there first. Venables steaming back. We've seen blue smoke. As long as we don't see some red mist coming down as well. You can see that at times. Cowans, Hughes. Sears with the run. Now then, they're in trouble here, probably. 3 against 3. Kirkhoff. He'll carry the ball. Young legs. Venables just jogging next to him. Kane Owen's gone. Oh, they're in total control now. Do they fancy more? That's the question for Pen-y-bont. Ashley Evans clips it in. Well, you got 2 strikers on the hat-trick, so you think they'd fancy another chance.
Either one of them's not wanting to come off, but...
And this was about to happen as well.
Yeah, this is... Well, at 3-1, you pull one back, you give yourself half a chance, but 4-0 now, it's a big ask.
Robbie Evans coming off. Fumpa Mwandue, back with Newtown. Been in Canada recently. We're back for another stint at Newtown. Haven't seen that much of Newtown last few weeks this season. God, we do slightly surprised to see Mwandue on the bench, I gotta be honest. But there we go. Not the manager. I haven't seen them from week to week, so shouldn't really comment. Doesn't stop me, to be honest, Will.
I was going to say.
A crazy decision. It's going to be a long 25 minutes for Newtown. And Pen-y-bont absolutely coasting in the sunshine.
This is where, you know, we go back to the second half of the first half, where they kept the ball really well along the back. Borge, Little and Jeffries have got to be a little bit more composed on the ball. Wear down Newtown just to sting any sort of any comeback at all.
Highlights from the weekend. Monday night on S4C, 10 o'clock. Another chance to see it earlier, 6:30 on Tuesday, as Mwandue tries to get on the end of this hopeful ball. Kirkhoff couldn't control. Remember all the goals and highlights and interviews on Scorio's social media accounts. Scorio's YouTube page, everything there. That was a late dig on Kane Owen. Linesman was watching it, didn't give anything. Looked like a bit of a tussle on the opposite touchline. Yellow card popped up there. I think it might have been to Caernarfon just for complaining about the decision or lack of decision. I think kicked the ball away.
Yeah, I've had a couple of them in my time. Yeah.
Halfway through the second half, and Pen-y-bont halfway to Europe, I guess. There's a big game to come. Well, Mwandue, far post. Suddenly found himself in space. And again, decent turn by Mwandue. Well, he's got involved since coming on.
You just, would it be a little bit different if he'd just been able to be brought on at 3-0? Again, tough to say.
Well, they were preparing the substitution. They were getting ready to do it, and then bang, it's for double substitution coming up for Pen-y-bont as well. First of all, Kirkhoff won't be getting a hat-trick. Off he comes.
Wow, what a day he's had, though.
Well, we'll have to stay on for a little bit. We'll get there. Elliot Richards is the guy coming on in his place. We'll just wait for this throw from Newtown. One do it again. Got in there, got in the middle of things. Right, we'll try again. So on comes Elliot Richards. Kirkhoff leaving 2 goals, the first and the fourth. And the first so early as well, and the fourth just killed off any lingering hopes of a comeback.
Yeah, fair play. His all-round game's been very good. He's held the ball up well.
20 years old as well,
20 years old, yeah, look at it. He's a good frame on him. You know, he's played at the right times. He's gone longer at the right times. 2 brilliant finishes and, you know, a very good 70 minutes for him. Likewise, Rafael, I think him and Kirkhoff have been brilliant in that linking up the play, and, you know, they've been instrumental in everything Pen-y-bont have done going forward.
Yeah, Rafael coming off for McFadden. Lincoln McFadden on loan from Swansea City. Tussle in midfield there between Robles and Ashley Evans. Ashley Evans not happy, to say the least. Out of your picture at the minute. They're still arguing near the halfway line. Ashley Evans, so competitive. He's been crucial for Rhys Griffiths' team. 34 years old, still going strong. He won the Welsh Cup with Rhys Griffiths, playing for Connah. So Rhys knows him well, obviously.
Brilliant player, I must say, playing against him. He is a tough competitor. Doesn't give you a moment's rest. The dark arts he's very good at, and you know, he holds that position so well. He gets on the ball, he breaks things up, and it's just his choice of pass is spot on.
4-0. And I presume Caernarfon are watching and wondering how will they go about stopping Pen-y-bont. No one's stopping Man City, by the way. It's 2-0 at Fulham. A little tear falls from the commentators. I'm dealing with it.
I've
accepted it. I've accepted it. They're not going to slip up, are they? Lovely touch by Little. And again for McFadden. Kane Owen. Still battling for everything. He's up for this, isn't he?
Look at that. The Pen-y-bont boys are fighting over the ball as well.
Well, there's another chance here. 3 bursting into the box. Chris Venables far post on a hat-trick. Got a touch, didn't think about going down. Well, it's an interesting challenge from Chris Venables. Not sure what to say about that.
Oh, that's just frustration, Chris. He's probably dying to get his hat-trick. The ball doesn't fall to him. As it drops, it spins away. It's a good foul because he stopped the counter, but he knew exactly what he's doing. Yeah, it's safe enough, do you know what I mean? Yeah, a bit of a joke with him.
And he sort of half pulled out, still fouled him. But didn't absolutely clatter him.
No, exactly, no.
We'll compliment him on that one. Showed restraint.
Showed restraint,
there
so there.
Well, Ashley Evans didn't show any restraint there. Now, in all seriousness, with 20 minutes to go, Pen-y-bont don't want to lose any players.
Exactly, yeah, this is where they've just got to keep their heads.
Because they're 4-0 up, there's no need to go flying in.
Don't need to be frustrated.
Well, Ashley Evans didn't even get a card there. Little's off.
He wants it.
Chris Venables looking for his hat-trick. Little still going. He's gone all the way!
Wow.
5-star show in the sunshine. Pen-y-bont absolutely dismantling Newtown this afternoon. What a performance. Little all the way from defence to attack. His first goal in years. And he's delighted. What a finish.
Well, my God, watch that back. How easy does that look? It really does look so easy. But so it's a brilliant run. It's a brilliant finish. You've got to take your hat off. But it's made so easy by the Newtown defenders, the midfielder that he's just bypassed. It's a striker's finish, that. It really is. He's done so well. And, you know, I remember when he first signed for Pen-y-bont coming from the Football League. And, you know, he obviously possesses that quality. And he's just shown it there.
Well, 35 years old. Young legs on him there, as Will mentions. Over 350 games in the Football League. Yeah. You know, he's played and scored in the Championship for teams like Wolves, Bolton, Bristol City.
Yeah, exactly.
Still going strong here.
Yeah, he's shown it. And he's been very calm and composed on the ball. He's done things at the right time. And I've got to credit Pen-y-bont. To choose a man of the match here, I honestly don't know who you'd go for, because they've all been, to a man, absolutely brilliant. You know, Jeffries, Borge and Little until then have just been gone through the game solidly enough, just done their jobs, and obviously other than that little bit of brilliance from Little, it's that's what you want for a centre-half. You want to just do your job and not concede, and they've done exactly that.
Well, Wandua can't believe that wasn't a foul by Harling. Chris Venables helps him up.
Is that a mini sorry from Chris, do you reckon? Is that a slight apology for the previous?
Wandua can't believe it. I don't blame him, to be honest. I think it was a foul. Now then, substitution. Oswald's coming on. Aaron Williams coming off. That's the end of his season. Great season, personally, for Aaron Williams. Disappointing end. 19 goals this year in the Cymru Prem. Great tally. I couldn't get on the score sheet today. Jason Oswald coming off. Sears coming off as well again. He's one of the best players in the league again this season, Ryan Sears. Dylan Downs coming on in his place. Youngster, been with the academy here at Newtown. Downs. Well, 5-0. Incredible scoreline here at Latham Park. And no one's going to worry about finishing 7th from now on, are they? 3 of the last 4 winners of the playoffs have come from the 7th spot. You've done it with Met.
Yeah. Well, it's a question we asked ourselves earlier. Would you rather be in that 7th position and get them? So you've still got to win the games to secure that 7th position, but you do build that momentum respectfully playing against lower, lesser teams. But like I said earlier, that momentum is money can't buy kind of stuff that really sets you up. And on today's evidence, it clearly is a special tool.
We did a live game at Aberystwyth towards the end of the season. Aberystwyth fighting to stay in the league. Well, the free kick's gone against Newtown. Yeah, I thought for a minute it was going to be a handball, maybe a penalty for Newtown. But Pen-y-bont went to Aberystwyth, one of the last games of the season, and they looked so strong. They looked much stronger than Aberystwyth in that game, and we're seeing this again. And now they're all coming on. What a position to be in.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds will be coming on. For Ashley Evans.
This is what we were alluding to. Probably a wise decision. He's starting to have a little bit of a balmy with Robles, so it makes sense. But yeah, he could, again, been absolutely brilliant. Oh, he won't be happy.
And off comes Chris Venables. 2 goals. Here they are again. But no hat-trick. What a header this was.
Oh, brilliant. Really good. Honestly, he's such a clinical finisher. He's done it for years. It's no surprise he's had 20 and 22. As much as that's a great record, he's been brilliant. And then Little again. Well, you'll be seeing that goal in these games for previews to these games for years. It's a really special finish.
Well, if they can get close to this level next week, Caernarfon are going to have a busy afternoon. McFadden, on loan from Swansea, has a swing. Football's never that simple, of course, is it? Caernarfon met, not a great game last night, but suddenly today, Pen-y-bont have turned on the style. Who knows what we can expect next week? It'll be at Caernarfon, on grass, on the oval.
Yeah,
huge crowd expected as well. Wandua tries to grab one back. A consolation for Newtown.
Again, brilliant. I think it was Ryan Reynolds who's tracked him. He's just come onto the pitch, and being aware to that, they'll pride themselves on clean sheets, and I know Rhys Griffiths will as well. So subs coming onto the game straight into the action, and it's brilliant.
So we're going to have 5th Caernarfon against 7th Pen-y-bont next week. Fascinating tussle. Caernarfon have got match winners in their team. You look at Donahue at the back, Danny Gossett, Darren Thomas, Sean Bradley's had an amazing season. Will was with us watching Wales C when Bradley smashed one in.
Yeah.
Adam Davis coming off the bench last night. But I'll tell you what, they're going to have to go stop this Pen-y-bont team if they get close to this level next week. And Rhys Griffiths would love to spoil the party at the Oval, I'm sure. He'd relish it. Robles still going. Wandua as well. Down he goes, no free kick.
I think Miles had a couple of tussles with him now, and he's just saying to him, get up now. I think it goes down quite easily, Mwandwe, but he wins a lot of fouls, and you know, he's just trying to, again, I think it sums up Newtown's day today. And it's unfortunate because, you know, a lot of fans have turned out. I think conceding that first 5 minutes in such a big game has probably set him off on the wrong foot. And Scott Roscoe there, him and Cal McKenzie have done a lot of work, you know, leading to the game, and they'll be absolutely gutted that it's panned out this way.
It sounds daft when it's 5-0, but they did have an early chance.
Yeah, you look back to that Williams one. They're saying it's just probably come a little bit early, and yeah,
Porter's
maybe
header back there.
If that comes 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes later, it's a bit of a different story. But God, that does seem a long time ago.
Lovely 10 minutes for Rhys Griffiths. He's probably started his prep for Caernarfon before the final whistle goes here. How tough is this now? 10 minutes to go for a Newtown player.
Well, like you said earlier, it's about personal pride, you know. The game's done, we all know it. You know it deep down. You want to tell yourself it's not, but it's can you try and get something out of the game? Can you get a consolation? Can you try and nip a goal or an assist? Try and take something away from every game, and like I said, that personal pride will be key.
10 to go, and then a week to go before the final. Caernarfon against Pen-y-bont. Caernarfon, the only team in the playoffs who haven't been to Europe. That's a foul on Way. Any team at any level in this situation, Pen-y-bont, the subs are coming on. They want to make an impression. So they're not going to just sit back, are they?
No, exactly.
We've certainly done that. Yellow card for Callum Roberts, frustrated.
Yeah, it's getting to that territory now as well, where, you know, Newtown players have just got to keep their discipline. Don't do anything silly. You don't want this to get any worse than it is. So, yeah, Callum Roberts have to be careful there now on a yellow.
Pen-y-bont have been in control from the start, really. Early chance for Newtown, but then after that, kick-off after 5 minutes, Venables after 18, Venables after 33, and it's suddenly 3-0 just after half an hour. How on earth do you respond to that?
They've managed the game so well, Pen-y-bont, keeping the ball, taking the sting out of the game, winning fouls, getting up the pitch. You've got to credit them, you really have.
This is a strong run, still going. Is there a consolation right at the end? Callum Roberts storming through.
Just to tell you now, if that was me, I'm going down.
I was waiting for it. Could easily have gone down.
And I think at 5-0 down, you probably get a little bit more of a sympathy for the decision.
That one.
It's a foul. I don't understand.
It's a funny one because it's still a foul, even though he didn't fall.
Yeah, exactly.
But they never give them, I guess.
They're not going to give it unless he goes down, which...
Corner for Newtown. Pen-y-bont protecting that clean sheet. That's where they are at the minute as Griffiths heads it out. And even when Newtown were trying to get themselves back into it at the start of the second half, you weren't convinced they had enough in them.
No. They upped the ante a little bit, but that was always going to happen, being 3-0 down. You know, you had to come out fighting at least. But in terms of making the keeper work, they've had a couple of efforts where it was a little too late, and yeah, it's a shame. It's a big shame.
It's harsh to pick out the strikers, but when you compare Kirkhoff and Venables to Williams and Robles, I guess, it's been an afternoon for the Blues. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Scott Roscoe still encouraging his team. He'll be back next season, obviously. Only just arrived in January. Scott Roscoe, interesting appointment. Tough time at the New Saints. But he always had the feeling he'd more to offer as a manager in this league. Solid team here at Newtown. It feels funny, they're 5-0 down, but you know, they're always top six, aren't they? Always competitive.
Always never a nice place to come and play. Unless you're Chris Venables, who seems to thrive.
Loves it.
Absolutely loves it.
His season started here in August. He scored 2 goals. They won 3-1. He's still here in May, scoring 2 goals. Now then, problems here. Miles Davis, are they going to make it 6? Nearly on a plate. Shane Sutton, important block by the captain.
Miles still running them channels now in the 85th minute. It's
85th minute in May, and he's started every game this season for Pen-y-bont.
He's unlucky, really. Does the right thing, trying to drill it across the front, but it's well marshalled by Shane Sutton.
Well, it's going to be a fascinating battle next week. Pen-y-bont against Caernarfon.
Yeah, interesting game at Caernarfon. Home advantage, the fans, they'll make it hostile. Yes, it's an intriguing game.
Well, McFadden gets a foot to it. Quay wins, smashes it towards goal. It was going in as well.
Wow.
Oswell, I think, got in the way.
Is this the same corner routine they've done for the first?
I think it might be.
For the first, well, was it Benez's first goal? You wonder how they can allow that to happen again.
Good spot by Will there.
Late running off the back.
Well, that was flying in. That was flying in, wasn't it? As you'd expect. I'm sure Caernarfon coaches are watching, making notes. Richard Davis will be studying this for the next few days. You know what's coming next Saturday. Can you stop it? That's the question. But then there's some talented boys in that Caernarfon team as well, as you say.
It sets up for a really good game, I must say.
It does feel feels tasty already, got to be honest. And so much at stake as well. Place in Europe up for grabs next Saturday. Final few minutes here, Pen-y-bont. The 2 wing-backs still there. Harling as well. Familiar names in this Pen-y-bont team. They had a tough whole season, finishing 7th. Well, another good strike, which he does enough. Newtown keep it in. But yeah, losing those 6 points, obviously a blow for Pen-y-bont. But they've responded well, finishing 7th. And look at them now.
You look back to that Chris Venables goal against Harvey West as well at home. It's a massive goal and set them up really well for this. Look at that, it's a brilliant strike to the bottom corner. Wycherley does well to get down.
3-0 Man City, by the way, at Fulham.
Let
Still
it go
about
now,
50.
Let it go.
I
It's
think
done
it's...
now. It was done at 1-0.
It was probably done at 1-0, he's right. So Arsenal fans will be wondering, they've got to win at Man United tomorrow first. And funny things happen. They get smashed at Crystal Palace. I wouldn't put it past United to get something.
Yeah.
But there we go. And if Arsenal do win, they'll be turning their attention to Spurs on Thursday night.
It doesn't stop. Relentless.
I can't see Spurs stopping Man City, I've got to be honest.
No.
There we are.
No.
But if personal pride, you know, if they fancy doing something, that'll be some story. We've had a great story here. Well, if you're the blue side of things with Pen-y-bont, amazing afternoon, 5-0. Absolutely thumping victory. What a time to hit their stride as well. Just before the playoffs. Well, not before, just before the final, obviously. They've been on a strong run recently as well, Pen-y-bont. Ending up in the bottom half of that second phase. They only lost once. They lost 1-0 against Pontypridd. Other than that, they've been flying. Still going strong here, and it's those subs coming on, hoping to catch Rhys Griffiths' eye. Lewis Ware being one of them.
Looks sharp there, Lewis Ware.
We're going to just find out who our colleagues have been deciding. Star of the show. He's not on the pitch, and it's not Chris Venables, it's Kirkhoff, Will.
You can't argue with it, to be fair. I must say he's had a brilliant game. Both them two there have given everything, and you know, been a massive vocal point for Pen-y-bont up top. And well, again, like I said, you could take any one of these Pen-y-bont players. I look at Borge, I think he's been absolutely solid. Haven't really mentioned his name, but he's won everything in the air. And yeah, Kirkhoff, I can't argue with that.
So Pen-y-bont season, they didn't win against the top 3 in the first half of the season. They've lost against the bottom 3 this year. Lost twice against Colwyn Bay. But they've beaten every team that was in the playoffs. So they've beaten Newtown. They beat Met this season. They've beaten Caernarfon. They haven't lost against those teams either.
Yeah.
Just felt a bit ominous before these games even started. None of the other teams in the playoffs have managed to beat Pen-y-bont this season. I know there's a long way to go between now and next week, but you'd put them as favourites after watching this.
Yeah, you would.
Even at the Oval.
Wow, it's definitely a leveler.
But Caernarfon will be loving that. Caernarfon might be thinking, great, let them win 5-0 today.
Yes, yeah. We're talking about that momentum. Winning 5-0 in a semi-final away from home is definitely...
It's not bad.
Definitely going to add to it, I must say.
It's not bad. Fair play. Well, and the referee feels sorry for them, I think, 2 seconds before the 90. Yeah. I think the final whistle went on the 90 minutes. We see Rhys Griffiths going to meet Scott Rusco. His reaction's been fascinating, Rhys Griffiths. He hasn't celebrated too much. He, more than anybody, will know that it's half-time for them in their quest for Europe. But what a first half for the playoffs. 5-0 thumping victory here at Newtown. They're off to North Wales next weekend to face Caernarfon. Caernarfon or Pen-y-bont will be in Europe. See you next week.
What a performance, what an afternoon. I mean, that has to be as close to perfect as it gets, isn't it? You were faultless.
I'd never say faultless. I'll watch it back and I'm sure we'll pick stuff. But look, it's gone well, isn't it? It's been a good afternoon. The first 3 goals were goals which the boys have meticulously worked at. We came up with a few ideas and they've stuck at them. Boring sessions, to be honest, at times. But it's paid them back, so the boys are brilliant.
Yeah, let me ask you, as someone who knows how to stick the ball in the back of the net himself, which one of those 5 goals was your favourite this afternoon?
One of the first 3. I don't know, but look, our goal was to get into the playoffs, and now our goal is to win the playoffs, so we won't celebrate this today. We'll enjoy it, obviously, but if we lose next week, then what's the point?
Well, before we move on to next week, let's just think about today, because the level of performance, the standards that the players set this afternoon was exceptional.
Yeah, look, I feel for them a little bit because we haven't had a great season by the standards we've set in recent years, certainly by last year. And they fought back. They didn't give up. We've had another 6-point knock. I've said enough about that, but they just kept going positive all the time, and they've worked so hard. And like I said, like Thursday night, we did the most boring session you'll ever do. And then the first 3 goals were part of that because the boys bought into what we were asking them to do, and then they put it into place.
1 game away from Europe now, then a trip up to the Oval next week, a ground that you've already won at this season already. Do you fancy your chances against Caernarfon?
Yeah, of course. Look, they're at home. They finished higher than us in the league. They'll have a big support behind them. We'll have a noisy one behind us, but they'll have a big one. So they're favourites, I guess. But they haven't beaten us for a little while, and obviously we're in good form. And I think that's the 7th clean sheet in a row. So it's going to be difficult to beat us.
And just before I let you go, a word about the supporters behind the goal there. They've been fantastic this afternoon, haven't they? Yeah, they're superb. We knew they'd come up in reasonable numbers, but we knew they'd come up in massive voice, and that's what they've done. And they mean an awful lot to the players and to me. It is a labour of love for me certainly, and for the players. So we appreciate them, and we want to get to Europe so that they can enjoy it again, because I watched them last year with pride, and they deserve to go back. Well, listen, we'll let you go and enjoy this one this afternoon. We'll see you next week. Llongyfarchiadau mawr. Diolch, Nicky, thank you.
Rhys Griffiths yn hapus iawn gyda'r canlyniad. Fi'n credu, siwm reideth mae fe'n fwy calm iawn. Dwi ddim yn rhoi lot bant, ond bydd y goliath heiddiannol iawn I Pen-y-bont prynawn yma.
Fi sy'n gwybod beth yw boring session.
Ie, beth yw boring session me? Achos mae fe wedi gweithio yn amlwg. Wel,
yn amlwg, oedd e'n kind of gweud, oedd maen nhw'n gweithio ar y falle set pieces, pethau oddi ar y cae ymarfer, a fi'n credu bod 2 o'r goliau o'r tair cynta yn enwedig rhywbeth maen nhw'n gweithio arno'n benodol ar gyfer y gêm yma heddi. Mae'r boes sydd wedi sgorio'r goliau yna, Siôn, maen nhw gyda Nicky John.
Well, Chris, let's begin with you. I mean, what an afternoon, what a performance. I was just saying to the gaffer, you were absolutely faultless out there. What was it like on the pitch to experience that this afternoon?
It was a relief to, that it played out the way that it did. But we've put a lot of work in the last few weeks. And it was enjoyable, to be honest. Obviously, it's good to get a few goals up. First half, we probably never dreamt that would happen. But obviously, once we got a good foothold in the game, then it was enjoyable.
Gabriel, we did wonder before the game this afternoon if whether the fact that he'd not played for 3 weeks since the end of the season would have any bearing on today's performance, but it didn't seem to.
No, I felt good to finally get a few goals. I haven't scored as much as I wanted to this season, but the boys were brilliant, stuck to the plan, and good day out for us.
Yeah, talk me through your goals. I mean, that first one within 5 minutes, and once you've done that, can you relax a little bit then?
Yeah, it helped to settle the nerves, I think. All stuff we've worked on, just instincts in the box, and just hopefully it goes in.
And I mean, Chris, it wasn't just his goals in terms of what he contributed to the game today. His performance in that midfield was outstanding.
Yeah, I thought 1 to 11 we played really well, but Gabe's been he's been getting better and better all season. To be fair, obviously still very young, so we're expecting lots more from him. But yeah, he was superb again, and hopefully he'll do the same next week.
2 for Gabriel and 2 for yourself as well. Must be nice. You never get bored of it, do you?
No, I said before the game we'll score today because we always score together, so hopefully we'll do it again, as I said.
And obviously 1 from Mark Little at the end there as well. But I mean, in terms of the spirit in the dressing room within the squad, when you go into the dressing room at half-time and you're already 3-0 up, that's got to be a good feeling, a good vibe in there.
Yeah, it is a nice feeling, but you've always got that sort of... that sort of feeling in your stomach that it's not the game's not done, and we said that at half time that it was only a third done as such. It was a big second half for us, but we were sure that if we went and got the 4th goal, then more than likely that's the game put to bed. So it was a nice feeling, a nicer feeling now still.
And Gabriel, a trip up the A470 next week, Caernarfon away at the Oval. You've already beaten them twice this season. Are you confident that you can continue that form next week?
Yeah, we've all had a good run, and I think that's a few clean sheets in a row, so we fancy ourselves against anyone, even Caernarfon up there. We're confident.
Well, listen, you're the man of the match this afternoon as well, so llongyfarchiadau mawr, enjoy that on the way home. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Ie, mae'n mynd I fod yn dipyn o achlysur ar yr ofal penwythnos nesaf, ond cyn I ni drafod y rownd derfynol, Siôn ni newydd glywed gan Gabriel Kirchhoff, ni'n mynd I weld ail golau am berfformiad ganddo fe.
Ie, ti'n be, fi'n credu bod e hefyd yn y bwydo off Chris Venables o ran I brofiad e. Ond y gol yma, dechreuodd hon nôl ar y llinell hanner, efo Chris Venables yn ennill neu'n troi yr amddiffyn, ac wedyn bwydo allan i'r asgell chwith. Dyn ni gweld y cyd-fynd, y cyd-chwarae fan hyn rhwng Pen-y-bont. Maen nhw'n amneddgar, jyst yn trial gwahodd amddiffyn y dre newydd allan. A wedyn dyma'r cyfle, yr 1-2, cymerid i'n ôl. Dwi'n meddwl bod e bach tu ôl o fe fyna, ond mae fe jyst yn fel fe'n digoi allan, a mae fe'n neud digon I cael I ail gol.
Ie, I feddwl bod e mor ifanc hefyd, ond mae fe I weld bod e wedi setlo mewn i'r tîm Pen-y-bont yma'n dda iawn.
Mae fe'n edrych fel athletwr I fi. So, mae fe'n 20 mlwydd oed, ond mae fe'n sgwar, a mae fe'n gwybod sydd I sgwario. Mae'n hwnna'n amlwg, felly ti'n edrych ar chwaraewyr fel hyn, a ti'n gobeithio gewn nhw gyrfa disgler.
Y gol ola wedyn ni, Siôn, Mark Little, y 5th gol. Dwi ddim yn sgorio lot, ond nath e joio'r un me.
Do, fe agorodd pethau lan, fe soniais I fod agor fel y môr coch iddo fe yn y sylwebeth, ond mae'n ei wir, Sutton falle I goesau fe wedi mynd, ffilid o nôl, cyffyrddiad fan hyn, oedd Chris Venables ar ei ysgwydd dde fe yn glir, oedd rhaid iddo sgorio fyna, neu bydd Chris Venables ar hat-trick, oedd ei ar ei benne.
Siôn, diolch yn fawr am y tro. Ewn ni nôl at Nicky, mae ddi gyda Mael Davies.
Wel, Mael, perfformiad arbennig, canlyniad arbennig. Sut wyt ti'n asesu'r un yna pnawn yma?
Perfformiad perffaith yn credu ni. Llechen lan, 5 gol, ffili disgwyl yn well, so edrych mlaen i'r ffeinal nawr.
Tasa unrhyw un wedi dweud wrthych chi o flaen llaw bod chi am ddod yma I Barclaith yn pnawn yma ac ennill o 5 gol I ddim. Fysa chi wedi crwylio nhw?
Na, dim gobeth. O'n i'n disgwyl gêm caled iawn. Chi'n meddwl, wedi yn gêm caled, oedd yr ymodau'n galed. Ond wnaethon ni dechrau off yn dda, cael gol cynnar. A roedd hwnna hyder i ni, I mynd mlaen I ennill y gêm, a falch iawn wnaethon ni na.
A mae'n siŵr bod chi wedi bod yn gwylio'r gêm ar yr ofal neithiwr fel tîm hefyd. Trip I fyny'r A470 eto yr wythnos nesaf. Da chi wedi curo Caernarfon ar yr ofal unwaith yn barod y tymor yma a wedi curo nhw yn eich lle chi hefyd. Ydych chi'n hyderus bod chi'n gallu gwneud hynny eto yr wythnos nesaf?
Ie, wrth gwrs, mae lot o hyder yn yr ystafell newid ar hyn o bryd. Ni wedi cael 7 llech yn lan a ni'n mynd mewn fel no fear. So, ie, really edrych mlaen. Bydde Cardiff Met wedi bod bach yn neisach, ond hapus iawn i mynd lan i Caernarfon a treol cael Ewrop.
A be fydd efo ei olygu i'r tîm yma, i'r bechgyn yr ystafell newid na i sicrhau eich lle chi yn Ewrop eto'r haf yma?
Bydd e'n meddwl popeth i ni. Ni wedi cael blas o fe blwyddyn diwetha a ni gyd moyn wneud y to. Ni wedi tango flawn i bach tymor yma, ond ni wedi codi momentum nawr a ni'n llawn hyder yn mynd mewn i'r ffainal.
Mael, enjoy ar dathlu pnawn yma. Diolch yn fawr iawn a llongyfarchiadau.
Diolch yn fawr. Diolch.
Wel, os oes unrhyw gytuniau gyda chi am hanner awr wedi 2 ar ddydd Sadwrn, gai awgrymu bod chi'n newid nhw. Rown derfynol, gemau ail gyfle Ewrop fyddwch chi yn bendant ddim moyn colli hon. Caernarfon yn erbyn Pen-y-bont ac mae'n fyw ar S4C. Siôn, cyn i ni adael yn gloi iawn, o'n i'n sôn cyn y gêm pa mor bwysig oedd yr ymosodwyr yn mynd i fod. Aaron Williams neu Chris Venables. Ser yn y sioe oedd Chris Venables heddi, Siôn.
Ser yn y sioe o ran i berfformiad y gyfan gwbl, y goliau mae fe'n rhoi i'r tîm. Mae'r gol yma, sy'n gweud top draw yn Saesneg, achos dwi ddim yn hawdd. A i fi, y ffaith syml amdani, yw fod Pen-y-bont wedi cymeryd bron i bod pob cyfle gelo nhw. O'n i'n siarad yn y sylwebeth eto y ffaith bod y gôl-geidwad heb wneud lot o heb wneud rhywfaint o arbediadau. A'r ffaith syml amdani, pob cyfle nath cwmpo i Chris Venables, Kirkhoff, i sôn o cymeryd e.
Ar ôl canlyniad heddi, Siôn, bydd Pen-y-bont heb os, bydd nhw llawn hyder yn mynd i'r ofal dydd Sadwrn.
Ie, a be wedodd Mael fyna, ffaith bod nhw wedi cael 7 llechen lan, felly dyn nhw'n mynd ildio haith. So ti'n sgorio, a ti ddim yn ildio, mae gobeith da ti.
Yn gwybod, fel bydd yr hyder yn uchel iawn. Siôn, diolch yn fawr am dy gymryd i heddi. Fi'n gobeithio bod ti ddim wedi llosgi yw'r Eli Hael yn oce?
Fi'n gobeithio bod e.
Jyst yn gloi iawn, pen ar y bloc, pwy sy'n ennill?
To be, fe wedys i bod i'n mynd i fod yn agos fan hyn heddi. Dwi'n meddwl bod i'n mynd i fod yn agos ar yr ofal wythnos nesaf. So, so'n mynd i gweud, so'n mynd i rhoi'n ymhen ar y bloc, ond fydd hi'n gêm agos.
Siôn, diolch yn fawr a diolch am dy gwmni di prynawn. Diolch yn fawr i chi am eich cwmni chi heddiw yma hefyd. Wel, mae Eurovision mlaen heno, ond anghofiwch am hynny achos fydd hi'n Eurovision go iawn ar yr ofal penwythnos nesaf. Wedwn ni chi brynu, nos da.